I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? Are you kidding me? This is a jitty. It looks like Saquon Barkley, John.
I don't know. You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sauce. Stuff. What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday morning. Episode's brought to you by PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks. I don't know how the hell the Astros and Padres lost those games today. Oh, my God. For those of you that watched MLB tonight, you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't know how they lost those games. Terrible. We got Brad Thomas back. Brad hasn't been here in like a week because it was the All-Star break before that. Brad, how's the last week been for you?
Dude, it's been interesting. I finally moved into my house, man, and yeah, dude. So it's been great, like getting settled in, and we actually just got the TVs up yesterday. So like, I just now watch TV on my at my own house, but like I'm stoked, like right in time for football season to be starting up. I'm really looking forward to kind of I don't know, the rest of the sports calendar until football gets here.
Yeah, I'm deep into football mode now. This baseball season, I've had a really cold run, so it makes it easier to start looking ahead when things aren't going your way. Well, I'll be talking college football a little bit later, but first this is the matchup for third place here in the World Cup between France and England. I'm assuming, first of all, I think this is cool that they play for third place, and part of me wants to say, oh, man, I wish American sports did this, but I don't think any team would take it seriously if they did do it, so I don't think it's a possibility. So is this a meaningful game? Will they, will there be any of that?
Yes and no. I think motivation is going to be the weirdest thing to measure here, right? First, this game is going to still be in Miami, and it's still going to be really freaking hot because they're playing at 5 p.m., So, like, I don't know if we're going to see fireworks, but then again, it's really hard to lock down defensively in a 90-degree weather match. So we might see explosions everywhere if these guys are really up for it. On the England side of the ball, it's weird because you think about England had so many guys banged up this year that probably aren't going to play. Like, you're not playing Declan Rice. Like, you're probably not playing Bukayo Saka, excuse me. You might not play Elliot Anderson, and Elliot Anderson in full fitness, but the dude logged like 90, 120, 75, 84. Like, those are his minutes logged. And then on the other side of the ball, you have good players who didn't see that much time, like Ryan Cherokee, Conte, Warren Zaire-Emery. Like, there's a lot of players who didn't see a lot of time. So it's going to be a good mix of motivated players and unmotivated players. But I just have to imagine, like, if you're England, you were 3 minutes away from going to the World Cup final, get it taken from your grasp. How do you get motivated? And we've already seen like the manager kind of downplay this game. The players kind of downplay this game. On the other side of the ball, you're France. You have Kylian Mbappe, who's chasing the golden boot, right? Like, he wants to win the golden boot. Then you also have a team who's sitting off their manager for his last ever international coached match. So I think France is going to be the motivated side in this one.
So are you considering a France wager?
Yeah. I took France money line at minus 109. I thought that price was pretty good, right? Minus 109 for a team that's going to be more motivated. I saw someone say this when they were trying to explain this game, and I thought it was pretty accurate. When France played Norway, it's going to be a lot like that, where there's going to be good rotation on both sides, but it's going to be really France who dominate this ball. Norway will have England will have their opportunities to score, but I think France is going to be doing the bulk of it. I also took Mbappe to score, dude. Like, I couldn't believe Kylian Mbappe. He's obviously moved since then, but when I placed it was like it was plus like 110 or something. The line's all the way down to minus 130. Like, I understand that line's probably not the same value, but on a sub-on book, but that means if a player comes on for him, I took it at minus 135 because I thought, like, there's no way that if Kylian Mbappe doesn't score, his sub comes on later, right? Like the only way Mbappe doesn't score is if they take him out of the game at like the 70th minute to let someone else on. Then you have like Mateta come on, and Mateta's going to find the back of the net. So you're getting pretty good value there.
So Mbappe goal -135, but make sure it's on a sub on book in case they pull him out of the game. Cool.
Yeah.
Brad, where can they find you?
You can find me on X at Mr. Brad Thomas. Sportsline.com if you want to read any of my stuff. Even though the World Cup is over, we'll have like MLS, National Women's Soccer
League. You do
MLS
Saturdays?
I actually hated past tense capping MLS, but I have dipped my toe in it now for to kind of bolster the repertoire.
Those MLS Saturdays they have a MLS Red Zone channel.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a soccer guy, but they did it where on the Apple TV they have a Red Zone channel. If there's one way I could watch the sport of soccer, it's Red Zone style. I could. There's like 15 games on at once. I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, I have plays. I post one today. I'll try to post one like every day that it'll be on for the rest of the season, and then that should carry us all the way into the Big Five. I cover the Big Fives and everything.
Cool. So that's his Twitter handle right on the screen. Brad, thanks for joining. Let me know if you can make it tomorrow for the final.
Cool, sweet. Take it easy, dude.
Later. The title of today's episode is No Toast, No Problem. So we've got Spoon, Trevor, and Jacob. I cannot believe the Padres and Astros. Obviously, the Padres, everyone saw that one. For those of you that don't know what happened in the Padres game, they were up 6-3 in the bottom of the 10th and lost. They were up 6-3 in the bottom of the 10th. So obviously that's the one that everyone's going to see and be like, oh, man, that was terrible. And it was. But the Astros were up 2-1 for pretty much the entire game. Bases loaded, one inning, left them loaded. Then two men on the next inning, left them on. They left so many guys on base, and then we're into like the 8th inning, and they're still up 2-1. When if you were watching the game, they should have been up like 7-1. So, and then the Orioles hit a 2-run home run. So that was another one where it may not have looked as dramatic as the Padres one, but it was one of those where like, how the hell did they lose? Padres and Astros, man. Hey, pal.
Yo.
Your substitute toast today.
Dude, today shows you why baseball is just a crazy sport. Like, one swing of I turn the game off for like 1 second. Yankees lose. Astros lose. So
the Yankees and Yankees is another one. Now, that was another one of I had my 3 losses today, all blue leads. Yankees was the third one. Now, I don't know. The Yankees probably didn't deserve to win because they didn't do shit offensively, but that's another one where the Dodgers did nothing the entire game except for one swing in the bottom of the 6th of the 2-run home run. But the Yankees didn't do anything. The Astros was more frustrating because the Astros had guys on base the entire game. Literally just couldn't get them in.
Dude, I question the Yankees letting Garrett Cole go back out there with 100 pitches.
You can't do that because Jacob, if Boone pulls Garrett Cole there and they bring in a bullpen arm and he gives up a 2-run home run, they're going to smoke him. How do you take Garrett Cole out? He's pitching a shutout. This is why you suck, Boone. That's one of those. It's kind of similar to third down play calling in football. If the play is unsuccessful, they're going to criticize the manager regardless of what the decision is. If they pulled Garrett Cole, put a bullpen arm in, and he gave it a 2-run home run, they would have crushed Boone for that. And you know that's true.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I was gonna say the Dodgers are just a bunch of veteran baseball players that are gonna see Garrett Cole for like the third. Not like they've seen this guy like 16 times in their career.
Yeah, I mean whether or not it was the right decision to pull him or leave him, you can have the discussion, but like where it becomes a little bit insincere is if you only criticize it if it doesn't work. Same as like when you call like a dump off to the flats on 3rd and 3, and they're like, "How could you make that play call?" Well, you know what? Maybe that was the perfect play call, and that it just happened.
I think about like the Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Like, if he punched it in, nobody ever be talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. If he catches the slant, no one has ever mentions that play ever. They only criticize it because it didn't work. Now, if you have criticism over play calling and managerial decisions is certainly fair. But when you only hear the criticism when it's unsuccessful, that's when it's like, all right, that's bullshit.
Yo, hold on. Can we talk about how they said Trent Grisham too on the Ben Rice double? Oh my god! Like, you argue about a third base coach's value? What the fuck is that? Like, the dude's slow as hell. He looked like he was running in quicksand. He got thrown out by a mile. He got thrown out by a mile.
There weren't 2 outs. There was only 1 out. How do you send that guy with?
What are we doing? Like, you automatically can get a pop fly next to bat. Next to bat, Cody Bellinger's coming up to bat. Like, he's gonna hit. Sure enough, he flew out the center. So
that's like, I learned that shit in Little League. Rule number 1, baseball 101. You never make the second out at home plate or third base. You never make the second out at home plate or third base.
Whole night, man. Now you have the Tigers getting blanked too. That's terrible.
Well, that was actually my biggest bet was Tigers Angels first 5 under. So I actually appreciated the blankage there. I needed that one.
How about the Nationals putting up like,
what are they, like 12-2 or something?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys, you should probably bet them tomorrow too, because this offense is insane. I know Kyle was chirping the whole season about how bad they are. I mean, I guess you're playing against the Athletics, but it was Gage Jump on the mound. Oof. Gage Jump.
Someone said Boone is horrible for years. Yeah, okay, so there's plenty of criticism that could be thrown at Boone. Not even disagree. I live in New Jersey, so trust me, I'm surrounded by Yankee fans, and they're very overly critical. I wasn't so much defending Boone. I'm defending that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. He would have got flamed if he pulled Cole and the bullpen came in and gave up a 2-run home run. They would have cooked Boone for that. How could you pull him? So if they give up 2 runs, Boone's getting criticized regardless of what happens. So it's not so much on the decision. Because, I mean, Garrett Cole was looking excellent. He was at 96 pitches. Honestly, I thought leaving him in was the correct decision.
I don't know. When you have I'm sure their team has the analytics to know how good their bullpen is. So
yeah, I mean, that's something to be said. The bullpen was completely rested, so you had your arms if you wanted to hand it off to him. But I mean, Cole's your guy right now. Him and Schlittler. You got your guy on the mound. Go get him.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Yankees. The Yankees are the Yankees. They're going to get Fried back in a matter of except Fried, I heard in his last minor league start gave up like 2 runs. So see how long it takes him to come back. And then Rodon is still Rodon.
Yeah, so I don't know how.
I'm not a Rodon fan, to be honest.
Yeah, how high is Rodon's ceiling right now?
Walk 3 guys, skip up 3 runs per game.
At least the Mets are back.
Yeah, the Mets are back.
Just smacking the Philadelphia Phillies around.
To be honest, I'd actually like to see the Mets have a better second half this season.
Well, you're going to.
For how much money they spend on that team, it's absolutely absurd how bad they are.
They've been injured all season. What's up, Soon?
Are we live yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the screen, my guy.
You're on the screen with a clean connection, which hasn't always been the case with Spoon recently.
Working on getting some new internet stuff. I changed the way stuff's wired up. It appears this is working a lot better than what it was. Hopefully by the end of the week.
Your full green connection right now. Actually, your connection is slightly better than Jacob's.
Spoon, who do you have it when I was growing up, when we lived in like the country? Dude, our entire where we lived, everyone had like the same internet provider, and it wasn't one of these like big like Verizon or any of these people. It was called like Armstrong. That shit would constantly go out 24/7. It was like when my twin brother and I were kids and we'd all want to play video games. We'll be screaming like, "Why is the internet cutting out?" That's all I can think about with you and your internet right now.
Well, it's upload speed. That's what you got to look at for this.
So I use Verizon right now. We used to have TDS, which is one of those smaller area kind of contracting things. My father-in-law worked for them as a executive for a long time, so we had decent internet through them. But when my wife switched over to working from home, it just became too inconsistent. We got this. It's been hit or miss, but we have had some issues with a couple different routers. You just change it out, generally fixes it.
Apparently, Trevor doesn't have a.
I sent you the. Oh my god, I sent it to Toast.
Yo, Josh. I
sent it to Toast instead of Trevor. Trevor's off the hook. I was about to say, like, TV Jones is not late often.
Wait, cash the over half. TV Jones showing up late.
He may show up a mess, but he's on time.
I didn't bet that this time.
I sent you the link, TV Jones.
The Tigers have life.
What are you on yet tonight, Jacob?
For tomorrow or for tonight?
For tonight.
I faded
the Cardinals line still.
Yeah, I have the Cardinals. I faded your boy Gage jump. Took the Nationals team total over 4.5. Told you it'd be free money. They have 14 runs.
Mark safe from betting Gage jump versus the best team in the world versus lefties.
Trevor, I sent you the link, so it's
the Diamondbacks just tied it right now. It looks like 2-run bomb by Corbin Carroll.
There he is. Trevor, they can't see you yet. Only we can.
As he rips the vape.
Just takes a last minute rip of the vape.
The last minute rip before I get on screen.
I need all the rips after the fucking bets I got. My team's got 4 combined runs on 3 bets. 4 combined runs.
You had Padres?
Padres, Brewers, run line, and Tigers. Or no. I had Tigers, Tigers, Brewers, run line, and Astros.
But guess what? The Brewers didn't cover 1.5, Trevor.
Yeah, they only had 12 base runners.
All
we
right.
suck.
You're in a slump, bro.
Tell me about it.
Brewers in a slump and the Mets are back. What a time to be alive.
We still have 60 wins.
See how far that gets you. Let's talk ball. Pirates Guardians. This is one of the legs of a doubleheader. Cantillo against the Pirates bats. I had said I wanted to bet the Pirates here, but I thought Cleveland was going to blank the Pirates with Gavin Williams, and I thought I would get a discount. I haven't looked. Anyone want to talk about the doubleheader at all? Or should we skip to the next one?
Is this the second game?
I'm not sure if this is the first or second game.
I think this is the first one.
No, I think it's the second one.
So I think the biggest thing in this game is just the air quality issues. I think you might be able to find something live here if you see one of these pitchers going out there and just actively doesn't look right. The amount of oxygen in the air affects everybody differently, obviously. I think doubleheaders in generally just have too much volatility in them to get that interested. But, I mean, I could see a world where the Pirates just blow this game open.
Yeah, I'm sure if you really dig into doubleheaders and the way different managers handle them, you could probably find some cool edges. Trevor's celebrating something.
The Tigers!
Tigers are up 2-1.
Come on! I'm buying that dude's jersey.
You want to just skip to the next game, guys?
Yeah, I have no interest. Pirates are nothing.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's the second game, by the way. The first game is Gavin Williams. I initially bet. The problem with doubleheaders is when the game gets ruled out, the books automatically take all the value you had. So, like any CLB, obviously, that you had, the books can just properly price every line. So, the total opened 8 yesterday. Under got hit. Obviously, the books decide we're going to open at 7.5 today. So, you really can't get any value anymore so fast.
Yeah, they already got the information they were looking for.
Pretty much.
Twins Cubs up next. Spoon, what's going on in Cubs Nation? It's been a while since we've heard an update.
Another loss tonight. Just couldn't really pile the runs up. But it's Taj Bradley tomorrow. The Cubs have been hitting here at home. And, I mean, the last month of the season versus righties, they're a top 10 team in baseball. I think they can get some runs on Bradley. Matthew Boyd's looked very consistent so far. He's not going to overpower you with any stuff, but the Cubs have won his last 5 straight starts. I think there's a little bit of value here on the Cubs, but the way this Twins offense has been, I mean, it's a little scary to fade them, but they're much worse versus lefties than they are righties.
Lean towards the Cubs. TV Jones, what are your thoughts on Cubs baseball?
You know, as much crap as I talk about him, you got to feel bad for this team sometimes. I mean, they've got all the talent in the world and they just can't perform. If it's not a lefty out there, they can't do anything. And last I checked, Mr. Taj Bradley is a stud, and two, he's he's a righty,
and two.
And he's a righty. I mean, the last 2 weeks, yes, there's the All-Star break, so you're losing some sample size there. 221 plate appearances, 69, nice, but not a nice WRC plus to have overall. They got to Walker Buehler for 9, and that was the 23-run game. They got 4 off of Dean Kramer, and then quality start 3 from Shane Baz. So you say 2 good outings versus righties in the last 10? I don't buy it. This Twins offense is pretty damn good. You know, I wasn't sure how they'd show up after the break. They look pristine. They did it again today, and now you got Taj Bradley coming in here, who's been lights out. The last 5, he's given up 2 runs at most. He's gone 5-7, 5-7, and 7. Walks a little bit of an issue there, but the strikeouts have been coming in bunches as of late. He's keeping the runs in check. I think he's going to be just fine here. We got wind blowing out. Give me this Twins lineup all day. Plus 130. That's absolutely ridiculous. I make it like, what was it? Cubs minus 102, I believe. Sorry. Where is this game? I make it Twins minus 101. So I love the Twins here. I've already fired it on the old Twinkies.
Wow. Strong words there. He loves the Twins. Sports scientist Jacob, would you say you love the Twins?
I like Taj Bradley. I was on Trevor's show. I remember I've been backing Taj Bradley the last 5-6 games he's pitched. I mean, this guy's given up 2 or less earned runs in every start since May 14th. Trevor touched on it. This guy's increased his K rate. His K rate this season's up to 27.4%, despite starting kind of slow. You want to talk about they win Matthew Boyd starts. They're also he's 9-3 on the season, Taj Bradley. So the Twins are also winning Taj Bradley starts. They've won 6 Taj Bradley starts in a row. For me, the Twins bullpen is still shaky, but the Cubs bullpen is even worse, surprisingly. So I'm with Trevor. I disagree that plus 130 with what I think is the team in better form right now. I would take the Twins. I think I like the under too. The only reason that would keep me off the unders, the weather is 91 degrees, wind blowing out in Wrigley. So it's a nice day in Wrigley, but Spoon touched on it. Twins are worse against left-handed pitching. They've been getting to some lefties, like they got the Ryan Weathers, but they're still much worse versus lefties. And Taj Bradley's been pretty good, so it'd be Twins and under.
Yeah, Taj Bradley has been good, but I think Matthew Boyd's pretty good as well. The Twins haven't been quite as dynamic against left-handed pitching this year. I like them a little bit better against righties. Here's the lefties the Twins have seen. They did get to Cantillo. They got base runners, but didn't score any earned runs. They got to Weathers, didn't get to Robleski, didn't get to Eric Lauer. Mackenzie Gore went 7 innings on him, so they haven't been quite as impressive against lefties. I don't hate that under. To be honest, it's hard to argue with the Twins at a plus 130 payout, but do you really trust these 3 arms to come out and close another game successfully?
No.
I was like,
no.
Absolutely. Why? They're going to have like a 4 or 5 run lead.
4 or 5 run lead. All right.
That's when Woo Suck Go comes in.
Yeah. Woo Suck.
I love Woo Suck.
I'll say under, but the weather is going to keep me from betting it. What the fuck? I love Woo Suck.
That'd be a great jersey to have.
White Sox, Blue Jays. I had under 8.5 in this one. White Sox scored Baker's dozen. Davis Martin. TV Jones, you were once a Davis Martin supporter. Have you bailed?
I was never once a Davis Martin
Yes,
supporter. I am a Davis Martin supporter.
Well, have you bailed then because he hasn't been pitching as well?
No, I will say on the road, not as big of a fan of his game.
You bailed.
No. Hold on. I like the White Sox in this one. He does a 4.72 road ERA versus a 1.8 home ERA. It's no surprise on the road all year. It's not been great, but at Cleveland, at Detroit, 3 1/3 wasn't a long outing. Only gave up 2, but at Detroit, 6 innings, 1 earned. I mean, those 2 road starts were fine. You got everything prior. I can't really defend. It's not been good, but now we've got this Toronto team. I mean, sure, they hit a few solo shots today. It's not like they look good. I mean, they're I think it's insane that you're down 8 runs, you hit a solo shot, and you're putting on a home run jacket. Like, read the room, buddy. Like, you can't be doing that. But I don't see why we fade the White Sox here. I make the White Sox I make them minus 138 here. I have it 5.4 to 4.2 in this one. Davis Martin, sure, maybe he'll give up a few runs, but the bullpen's in good shape. You're going to have Hudson and what's his nuts? Dominguez only threw 2, I believe.
What about Grant Taylor? That's the arm.
Grant Taylor's the other one. So I don't see a reason why Toronto's going to have a big advantage in this one. Yes, Martin's been a little bit rough on the road, but this White Sox team, best team in the AL. And you guys can say what you want, but this is the best team in the AL. No team is playing as good as this team. They score runs, they have great pitching, and their talent is through the roof. I mean, they're young. They don't know they shouldn't be this good. Look at them. They're out here dominating. Even without Murakami, they held it down, and having him back, it's really invigorated this team. I believe he's been back 2 total games. They've got 20-plus runs in those games. I don't see what changes here tomorrow, especially against Mr. Biebs, who's been bad. So just give me the White Sox. I already gonna bet this. I'm getting actually I haven't bet this. What is it right now? Minus 106. Yeah, minus 106. So I'm in on the White Sox here.
I kind of disagree. I kind of want to go Blue Jays here. The poll definitely agrees with Trevor. 80% to 11% White Sox.
Sharps.
The White Sox are being the best team in the AL. It's not as crazy as a take as you think because the AL hasn't been very good. The White Sox in the last 6 weeks are 500 exactly. So,
but how much of that was without Murakami? All of it, basically.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I could look up. Is Murakami moving the needle that much? He's batting like 222.
Yeah, but the energy.
Oh, he's an energy guy. I saw him participate in the home run derby live. He got the shit booed out of him.
Yeah, because Philly fans want him so bad that they just don't want him in the stadium. Like, if we can't have him, no one can. Boo.
Sports scientist Jacob, what do you think about TV Jones' sentiment here? Because I was thinking about going the other way.
I don't think I could trust Shane Bieber, Kyle, to be honest. Like, I do believe in this White Sox offense. I mean, on the season, they're a top 10 offense in baseball and a top 10 offense in baseball against right-handed pitching. And what has Shane Bieber showed us so far to believe he's not going to give up 2 to 3 earned runs tomorrow? He gave up 4 in his first start back, 2 to Texas, who I don't really know if you consider Texas a good lineup. We just watched the Padres today, how putrid their offense is against the Royals. He gave up 6 hits and 3 walks to the Padres, and he got absolutely shelled in Seattle by Seattle. So I think the White Sox can easily score 4 runs tomorrow, to be honest. And I don't really know. Look at the Blue Jays bats. I mean, what is Toronto doing? I mean, they're literally a bottom 10 offense in baseball. Now, Davis Martin, you already said.
Hold on. We want to talk about Murakami coming back. What about all the guys that are back for Toronto? Springer, Varsho, we're all hurt. Well, Varsho's been back for a few weeks, but
Springer's been having a terrible season, way worse than last season. Vlad Guerrero can't hit the ball in the air. He has like 3 home runs on the season. Alejandro Kirk started off hot, is now batting like low 200s. Like, I think at this point, if you put this Blue Jays team, I texted Trevor, they were in the World Series last year. I just think it gives us great value to continue fading the Blue Jays. I mean, I looked at the White Sox lineup, and you can just add the OPSs. They're a better baseball team. You look up and down the White Sox lineup, they're better than the Blue Jays. And Davis Martin, I don't really know if I really want to back Davis Martin on the road. I know that's probably why you want to bet the Blue Jays. I mean, you could look at his road ERA, it's a 4.86, but they have their whole bullpen available, and what are the Blue Jays doing? It would only be the White Sox for me. I think I'd rather just take their team total over.
What's the team total at?
You can build a 4. The 3.5's minus 160, the 4.5's plus 113.
So what's the 4?
Okay, I don't know.
I'll just put 3.5 minus
like
160.
Minus 130-ish.
It would be like minus 130-ish. Yeah, and I would minus 130. I'd pay that juice for 4 runs to get push potential.
Spoon, can you tell me you're about to take the Blue Jays?
I kind of looked for ways to do this. We look at Shane Bieber. He's had a terrible start to this season. He's a pitcher that has shown us much better things than what we've seen so far. this is a pitcher-friendly park. He doesn't traditionally struggle with lefties, and the White Sox have a ton of lefties in that lineup. If we think about where he used to pitch in Cleveland, that's a lefty-friendly ballpark. So for him to be able to shut down lefties in that park consistently for so long, I think he's going to come back around and by the end of the season be better. But I'm not testing the White Sox offense with Murakami back. I agree with Trevor. This guy's a spark plug right up there towards the top of the lineup. It makes him pitch to everybody there, Vargas, Montgomery. And I mean, Davis Martin, while he's taken a couple steps backwards, we were talking with Straight Edge Bets in the MLB voice chat tonight. And it's like, I don't know, maybe he's starting to turn into a pumpkin a little bit. But he's coming off the All-Star break. This seems like a great spot to bounce back in a pitcher-friendly environment. You have that.
Why is Davis Martin only bouncing back and not Bieber?
You have that smoke.
Bieber's 5 games removed.
So that could also affect this game. It's probably going to keep me off. But, I mean, at some point, Shane Bieber is going to start pitching better. I know we got killed with that under today. I was on that as well. I texted you that roof would be closed yesterday. It's going to be closed again tomorrow. I kind of like that under as well. I mean, Davis Martin has been a solid pitcher all year. Shane Bieber was once a Cy Young candidate. He's years removed from that, but he's getting healthier.
I'm putting up Blue Jays. I may end up betting this.
I took the team total over. It's -122 for the 4.
All right, Blue
There
Jays.
can only be one Bieber in Canada, and it's clearly not Shane.
Nice.
I think there's like several though. It's a popular last name.
There's only one successful Bieber, I should say.
Reds Rockies up next.
Justin Bieber fan, clearly.
Reds Rockies up next. Rhett Lauder on the mound against Sagano. Sports scientist Jacob, bat leadoff.
I have to be honest. I didn't even look at this game, but
In that
you're
case,
telling me well for me, you're telling me Sagano is on the mound. I don't know what the price is, but I already, based on Rhett Lauder being on the mound, kind of lean toward the Rockies. Maybe Spoon or Trevor want to talk me into the Rockies.
I think the Rockies kind of suck.
So we don't know that Sagano's pitching. This isn't open in a lot of places, and I don't believe he's listed everywhere. Lauder definitely is. So there's some question marks on the Colorado side, but I don't really agree that Rhett Lauder sucks, but he's not going deep into games. And I do agree that the Reds bullpen sucks. I think this is a spot where the Rockies have a little bit of value here. You're getting plus money with them at home. The pitchers that do come out are used to pitching in this environment. Cincinnati is not. I could get to the Rockies, but I'd need to know who's pitching. I wouldn't mind Sagano. He struggles a little more with lefties. You're going to see a ton of righties in that Reds lineup, but I'm not trying to move without knowing who's starting.
TV Jones, any thoughts?
Yeah, it would only be Rockies team total over. I mean, it's 4.5. Rhett Lauder's not going deep in the games. You're getting the bullpen now for Cincinnati. I'm not really a big fan, but I do. I mean, Rhett Lauder's going to go 2 or 3 innings at most. Like, they've really just not let him do anything. So, Rockies team total over. You're going to get bullpens. I'm not in love with this game, but it would only just give me runs. But I could not be further disinterested from betting on this game.
I'm good with just passing.
Yeah, I didn't look at the game because I didn't see a Rockies pitcher. So
I think this is one of those games where, in my opinion, a month from now, we're going to look back and think if we were to reprice this game a month from now, it would be like Reds -135. I could see the Reds being considerably better than the Rockies in the second half of the year.
Tigers, Trevor?
Man, I needed that one. 1 and 2 instead of 0 and 3.
Tigers money line just
Huge
won.
swing.
Good
Imagine.
swing. Yeah, it is a huge swing.
It is for the psyche.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, after losing the Yankees one, I feel like I deserve. It's not how it works, but I feel like I deserve the Tigers.
In
Shout out
what
the
world
Angels
are the
bullpen.
Phillies -148 against the Mets right now?
Oh, can I kick leadoff here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a scheduled win, but the books are charging me for it. The books are charging me for it at this point. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm with you. I'm not betting the Phillies, guys. Like, I mean, -150. I feel like if this game was like 2 months ago, like a month ago, maybe, like it'd be like -135, -140. And I'm not even like that big. Like, I don't think Sean Manaea is like terrible. Again, I think we already saw Manaea pitch against the Phillies. He pitched good, and the Mets actually won that game. They won 6-4. He went 5 innings. He gave up 2 earned runs. He gave up 6 hits. It was on the road in Philadelphia, where he's going to be pitching tomorrow. The one thing about Manaea is he's a lefty, and he's really good at getting out lefties. And, I mean, I'm a Phillies fan. We suck ass at hitting left-handed pitching. We are the 3rd worst lineup in baseball in the full season at hitting left-handed pitching.
You're the 4th worst lineup in baseball in the season, period.
No, that's what I know. 3rd, 28, 29,
yeah,
30.
but I meant overall WRC plus. You're 27th. You guys,
No,
just,
I thought-
you guys. Are
in bats. Yeah, I mean, our road. We can't. Toast talks about it. We can't score the baseball on the road. So, like, I mean, if you took out the Phillies' home starts, they're probably the worst road lineup in baseball. The Mets and Phillies did not play today. They played yesterday, so we have all the bullpens completely available for both teams. Mets bullpen looks like it's been pretty bad, but they're a great bullpen on the full season. And when the Phillies have all their guys available, they have the best xFIP in baseball. I mean, I trust Kerkering. Boland's been an absolute revelation, and Duran, obviously, is Duran. On the other side, I mean, I told you it's a scheduled win. Jesus Luzardo hasn't lost a start since fucking May 19th. They've won every single one of his starts. This is a guy I continue, like, every season, he gets better as the season goes on. He started off as being the most unlucky pitcher in baseball. He's stupid good at getting out lefties, which is really nice when you have a guy like Juan Soto who gets on base like 4 times a game. And the Mets lineup against lefties is still a bottom 10 offense in baseball. I don't really care that we're playing in the bank. I took the under 9. I don't understand why we're getting 9 runs. Like, you saw the Mets and Phillies play the other day with Aaron Nola and someone on the mound. We couldn't get 9 runs. I think the Phillies, or if you want to bet the Phillies team total under, it's probably not a bad bet either, right? Like, protect yourself against, a Mets 4-3 win or something. Like, I just don't think we're getting 9 runs tomorrow.
TV Jones, what are your thoughts on everything sports scientist Jacob just said?
Yeah, I mean, he's the Phillies guy. He's been damn right with the Phillies all year. But what if I told you the Phillies are 3-5 and Luzardo starts at home? Yes, they've won. I mean, they beat Miami and the White Sox, and Colorado at home. Other than that, they've lost. Cincinnati, they beat San Francisco, lost to Colorado, beat San Fran, lost to the Cubs, lost to Arizona, lost to Texas. Wow. And that's when the offense was actually like good throughout the season. It's been like last 2-3 weeks or so, maybe a month that they've really struggled. His last 4 starts have been on the road. Now he's coming back home. He's excelling versus lefties as of late. Overall, the season, he's not bad versus righties at all, but the last 75 righties, I mean, a near 10% walk rate, a 9 ERA, 2 whip, 12% barrel rates, 340 expected WOBA. The left side, you can't do anything against him if you bat from the left side. Now, unfortunately, he's only going to see maybe 3 lefties tomorrow: Soto, Benj, and Ewing. Everybody else righty or switch hitter. So I think they might struggle a little bit, but I also think Luzardo will be just fine, and I don't see this Phillies offense tearing it up. I mean, it's not what they've been doing. So I'm with him. I like the under if you can get a 9, but other than that, I'm not really too interested in betting this game. I think just if you had to, value Mets, but luckily I don't have to. So under or nothing.
Spoon, Mets?
At this price, it's Mets. There's a serious question whether this game even goes. There's a flood watch in the area that the ballpark's in from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday to Sunday there. It's going to be rain a good portion of the day, including when this game's supposed to go. So I don't really know if it goes, but if it does go, it's going to be super humid, high humidity weather, pretty hot. That generally does make the ball carry. So I get the total there. I'd like to get on Sean Manaea. Like you guys talked about, he's excellent at getting lefties out. That's what you need to do to be able to get through the heart of this Phillies lineup. And on the opposite side, yes, Luzardo looks pretty good here recently, but where's he been pitching? On the road. I mean, at the bank this year, this guy's been a fade. He still has a ERA almost 7 at home. It almost feels like they're trying to hide him there on the road. So I think the Mets, a team that I feel like is better at hitting lefties. Last 30 days, they're 13th in WRC plus, so nothing crazy, but I think they can get to Luzardo.
Man, I think if you bet the Mets, it'll close at like plus 135.
Yeah, but I can get plus 150 right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought I could only get about.
I will say that we look at Luzardo's numbers. I will say this is the guy. He does it every year. He continually gets better. as the season goes on, which he's shown. So I don't think he's going to get like torn up, but I can't trust the Phillies against lefties. So
I might
It's
end
like
up
Brian
adding
Wu,
the best.
just like the opposite.
Next up. Oh, it's the prize pick segment. Let's go. We have no toast today, so I'll just read off my Claude's favorite right here. 1 second. When my screen would load. All right, so we got Taj Bradley, higher than 1.5 earned runs. We got Ryan Weathers, higher than 1.5 earned runs. And Davis Martin, higher than 1.5 earned runs. Those are Claude's 3 favorites. It's brought to you by PrizePicks. Play $5 to get $50 instantly in lineups. That's by using the promo code HMA. Link is also in the description. Orioles Astros in Houston. Oh, my God. I can't believe.
bruh.
Bases loaded. No, was that
I've
no
lost-
outs or 1 out?
I've lost all faith for Brian King, dude.
I mean, you can point at Brian King, but in reality, the Astros should have been up 7-1 at that point. It was like insane that it was only 2-1. So Spoon, Trevor Rogers, you've been a supporter. Your boy, you remain loyal. He seems to be back.
He does seem to be back, and you're getting him plus money on the road. Arrigetti's coming off a start. What did he give up last time out? 8 earned runs, maybe just 7 earned. Terrible start there. I think this is a spot where I would like to get to Baltimore, but shouldn't I be getting a bigger number than this? Houston, I mean, I just don't really trust their bats that much. Trevor Rogers, I think should be able to get through the heart of this order at least 2 times, if not 3 full times. The Baltimore bullpen had to use some arms today, but it's a situation where I really feel like we could get to Baltimore. I just don't feel like I have an edge on the number. I just think they win this game.
TV Jones?
Yeah, man, the Astros, holy smokes. The problem is I don't see how you really trust either of these pitchers. And this one, I mean, I don't think either are very good. I mean, Spaghetti he had his moments to start the year. Since then, they've dropped 5 straight. They've given him a grand total of 4 support runs in 5 starts. 0, 1, 0, 1, and 2. All losses, and they've been giving up a lot. So they're getting run lines since June. Every start since June 14th, they're getting run lined with ease. And now you got Trevor Rogers. I mean, he doesn't have any offense, but he's been damn good. 1 earned, 0 earned, 1 earned, 0, 2, 3, 1. Prior to that, he was absolutely getting obliterated. So since the month of June started, they're 5-2 in his starts. And he holds the offense down. Will the offense score runs? They got lucky as hell that the Astros couldn't poke a single hit through there with the bases loaded, or in that first inning or second inning, whenever they were getting putting some pressure on. I think this is just an under, or if I had to take anything, it would be Baltimore, but I'm not really interested in really anything other than just an under, because I do think both pitchers will be fine, given that these offenses are trash. The Orioles bullpen's been damn good. I mean, they showed right back up out of the All-Star break, picked up right where they left off. Houston, I mean, I don't think their bullpen's obviously as good, but this Orioles offense is putrid. Under, and under. I mean, otherwise, no interest. I'm not going to bet this, but I can't get to a side here unless it's Rogers, but this price does feel a little trappy when you're getting clearly the better pitcher here in this one.
Well, the Orioles haven't been very good, though. That's why the price.
Yeah.
And they're the road team.
I feel like Baltimore's probably going to close as a short favorite, though, right?
110 or so.
Yeah.
Astros aren't hitting
I like
lefties.
both of what you guys said. Maybe
So there's an advantage for Houston in the last couple innings. I still feel like they have the better bullpen arms there, and Baltimore had to use their most key arms, where Hader didn't make a single pitch today, so he'll be there at the end. I glanced at the first 5 numbers; they weren't out. There's a 116 on them
minus
now,
110,
minus
Baltimore.
116.
Baltimore first line 5 money line minus 110. I'm taking it.
Where are you getting a 110 on the first 5?
365.
I didn't get to go yet. I like Baltimore. I like Baltimore's first 5 money line. I didn't get to this is a tough game. Like, again, I lost on the Orioles won today. I lost on the Astros. So if I want to think the Orioles win twice, I gotta suck it up and bet the Orioles. But I'm kind of with you. I think they should be short favorites. I mean, Trevor Rogers going out there facing the Dodgers, the Nationals, who you're watching score like 18 runs today, and who put up 8 runs on Arrighetti. And if I'm filling in for Toast here, I mean, Arrighetti's a gas can. This guy's like expected ERA is above 5. All of his expected numbers caught up to him. He has a 12.4% walk rate. He's not, and like typically he's a strikeout guy, but I mean, his strikeout rate right now is like not even good. So we have the clear starting pitching advantage. And I mean, Baltimore's a top 10 lineup in baseball against righties. They're a top 10 lineup on the season. Like, this was a team that had high expectations, and maybe the second half of the season, they're going to turn it around. I mean, they had been playing much better going into the All-Star break, backed by, some better starting pitching performances. I guess the only thing you could say is Trevor Rogers' righty splits look really shaky, but Spoon briefly jumped in there and said, I mean, they're not hitting left-handed pitching. This is one of the worst lineups in baseball.
Also, those righty splits are that's the full season numbers. He was getting crushed earlier.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, look at his last few starts. Like, he's handled lineups that have very good righties in them. And I think we should just keep it to the first 5 because, again, the Orioles had to use much more of the bullpen. And despite the fact that I've watched King now blow a few games, like, I still think that the Astros have the better bullpen. So I'm going to be betting Baltimore first 5 money line.
Man, the way that baseball's gone, watch Arrighetti go out there and throw like 7 shutout.
Yeah, probably.
It's possible.
That's why I like the under. There's no offense. If pitchers pitch, I think the pitchers have a better chance of pitching well than the offenses do of hitting up either team.
Hey, let's go Shitbirds. They pulled it out. 5-4 win.
Cardinals won. Yeah, I saw they were up 5-4.
I was going to bet that and move like 20 cents in about 5 minutes. I was like, I'm off.
Padres Royals. How the Padres lost is freaking crazy.
Holy shit.
Who is Kyle Hart, man?
Kyle Hart comes 4 straight hits. Oh my God. They were up 10-3 in the bottom of the 10th, lost. And not only did they blow a 6, they were up 6-3, I'm sorry, in the bottom of the 10th and lost. And not only did they blow a 6-3 lead, but it felt like it happened in like 6 minutes real time. They came up, hit, and the game's tied. It felt like it happened so fast. Where it's like, how did they give up a 3-run lead that fast? Noah Cameron against the Padres. Spoon, you trust the Padres to score runs?
It's Cameron.
Don't trust the Padres offense. Full season numbers versus lefties. They're 26th in baseball. That's for a reason. It started to look like they were coming around a little bit as the lineup was getting healthier, but I just don't trust this team right now. But it is Noah Cameron. 5 of his last 6 starts, 5 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. And these aren't offenses that are absolutely killing anything either. But it's Griffin Canning on the other side. Like, these are 2 offenses I don't trust, 2 pitchers I don't trust. Gets pretty gross here, but this Kansas City team, if they've done one thing, it's hit better at home. And I think they can find a way to get to Canning. I was looking at Kansas City's team total and Kansas City themselves here. But there's too much volatility in this game. This is a gross game, in my opinion.
Yeah, is it Noah Cameron?
Say that again, Jacob?
It's Noah Cameron confirmed pitching. I don't see a confirmed pitcher. I find it
undecided. It says.
I find it hard to believe that Kansas City's dogs in this game.
Well, here's the thing, Spoon. You said it's Noah Cameron, and you're looking at these earned runs. Noah Cameron's numbers look a shitload better than Seth Lugo's numbers, and Lugo just went out and dealt against the Padres. TV Jones, what are your thoughts on Padres baseball right now?
Glad I didn't bet him tonight. I was going to, and I didn't. Thank God. I'd be sounding like toast up here. I mean, insane. But I saw Kolek for this game. I don't know what's the difference between Kolek and Noah Cameron. They're the same garbage pitchers here. I don't mind Griffin Canning. Like, he's looked decent as of late. What hasn't looked decent is his offensive support. 4 2/3, 4.44. I mean, he's not going deep into games, but he's given up 1 or 2 earned. Like, it's been fine. But he's gotten a grand total of 3 runs of support in his last 4 starts. 1-3 loss, 0-3, 0-3, 2-3. There's nobody scoring runs in any of these games. And
2 earned runs in 4 innings is not a good start.
I'm not saying it was bad, but it wasn't great. Like, it was meh. It was meh. We'll say meh. But it was against Arizona, at the Dodgers, and at the Cubs. Like, I'll give them a little bit of credit for that on the road. Now you've got the Royals, who, sure, you can say the offense is looking a little better. They got lucky. I mean, didn't they have bases loaded, bottom 9, no outs, and got nothing out of that or something? I mean, it's just, I just don't know what to expect from this team. And now you got Noah Cameron going up here. I think he can look decent versus Padres offense, and I think Griffin Canning is going to look decent too. I don't hate an under, or maybe just a first 5 under. Just avoid the bullpens entirely. Mason Miller went tonight for the Padres. So it's first 5 under or nothing for me. I want no part of these bullpens on either side.
And another 10.5. It's beautiful weather in Kansas City. It's hot, wind blowing out. Explains the total. We've seen a lot of high totals in this ballpark this year, especially since the weather's gotten warm. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, to add to that, I feel like we've seen a lot of high totals in this ballpark, and the Royals haven't made anything of moving their fences in because their offense is so bad and the games keep going under.
I'm pulling it up right now. Royals home games.
Like, what do they move the fences in and they still can't hit home runs?
Though actually, the Royals home games 23 and 23. The total is.
Oh, all right, there you go. Yeah, it's 93 degrees, wind blowing out tomorrow. Pretty nice day in Kaufman. Oh no, that's tomorrow. Today is 91 degrees, 11-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out the center. So pretty nice weather. Trevor touched on it. I mean, this game went to extras today. Mason Miller pitched. I don't know if he goes on back-to-back days. Morajon and Rodriguez pitched like 23 and 20 pitches. I mean, hopefully we could see Kyle Hart again after what happened today. I'd be with Spoon. I think the Royals team total over 4.5 it's like minus 132. Again, you have Griffin Canning on the mound. I know, Trevor, you said he's looked pretty decent. I mean, most of his xFIPs are in like the 6s. 7 hits in his last start's not good. The weather's going to be really, really good. And the Royals offense is a top 5 offense in baseball in the last month. And they've been a top 10 offense in baseball at home this season. So I don't think if it's Noah Cameron, by the way, I don't think the Royals should be dogs. Like, the Padres can't hit left-handed pitching to save their life. And Noah Cameron was Kyle's like Cy Young candidate. Like, this guy might actually go out there and look pretty solid tomorrow. So I disagree with the price on the Royals being home dogs, and I would take their team total.
I would lean towards the Royals too. I always thought Noah Cameron was pretty decent.
I had higher expectations coming into the year than what he's done here.
I think everybody has. Like, I gave you shit for that Cy Young pick, but he should not be this bad.
Maybe the Royals' first 5 is better if you don't want to involve the bullpen, because the Royals' bullpen does still suck ass.
Yeah, Royals first 5 maybe, but I don't really have a ton of interest.
This game sucks too.
Cardinals, yeah, right. Cardinals, Diamondbacks. TV Jones, any thoughts here?
I mean, the fart man's on the bump. I mean, he's been great. He's been paying us out. He's been dominating. I mean, as much as I think he's just doing it to stick it to Toast. So this might backfire on us now that he might tune into the show, not see Toast kind of crap on him, and a little bit of a burden on his shoulder. He's got to release tomorrow. But Dustin May hasn't looked too sharp since his 9-inning damn near flawless perfect game or no hitter. 6 earned at Kansas City, 5 earned at Atlanta, and then he was home against Atlanta and Milwaukee, 2 earned and 0 earned through 8 2/3. There. So on the road, last 2 haven't been pretty, and that was when Atlanta wasn't doing anything. Before the break, like they were god awful. And now you got Fott coming in here. He's been great. They've won his last 3, 9-2, 8-0, and 8-2. So he's getting run support. 2 of those 3 were on the road at the Dodgers, at San Diego, divisional games, and then the Giants. So all 3 divisional games here. And he's shown up to all of them, giving up a grand total of 3 earned through 15 2/3 with 13 hits and 10 Ks. So, and 1 walk. He's been just fine coming out of this off the injury. So I like Arizona here minus 110, whatever it is. Dustin May, I like the guy. I was all over it before he had his damn near no hitter, and ever since then it's gone down the tubes, and he's looking just like the old Carrot Top we knew and loved. So I like Arizona here, minus 110. I don't mind taking a stab on them with Brandon Pfaadt. I enjoy this guy. He pitches great. I just wish Toast was here to to shit on him. So he
Toast kind of like came around. He was like Brandon Pfaadt I think he gave Pfaadt a little bit of credit the last time, if I remember correctly. Jacob, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I've been backing Fott in his last two. I took the under in the last time Fott pitched with the Dodgers game and it lost, but no, it wasn't because Fott pitched bad. It was because Yamamoto. He outpitched Yamamoto. This guy went 5 innings, 2 earned against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, I heard that he's throwing his changeup a lot more to lefties, like 19% of the time. So he has a way to get out left-handed batters. The game today was what, 5-4? So it looks like O'Brien went for the Cardinals.
I'll be able to pull it up in a second.
Soriano and Gastelum. McGreevy went 6. I kind of like the under in this game too. Under 9. I mean, Dustin May hasn't pitched overly bad. 4 innings and 4.2 innings in his last 2 starts. That was against the Brewers and the Braves, 0 and 2 earned runs. I do still give the nod to Brandon Pfaadt, so it would be the Diamondbacks at a cheap price. But I also think that both teams, I mean, how good are the Diamondbacks against right-handed pitching? We've been, saying they're not a good lineup the entire season. And I think Pfaadt's been pitching well, so I think we can get to the under too. And John has talked about this ballpark. He's been playing to a lot of unders. I mean, we only got 9 runs today. So,
Spoon?
Brandon Pfaadt, I mean, probably does lose a little bit of the edge because he's got to listen to like an old compilation of Toast just banging on him. And now that he sees Toast not on the show, he's made it to the top. You lose that motivation. I don't think he's as good as what we've seen here recently. The guy throws like a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. There's nothing that impressive. He throws a lot of pitches. So on the days where it's bad, he just is looking for a pitch that he can throw for a strike besides that fastball. And he goes to that sinker to try to get ground ball outs. I think this is a guy that's due for a blow up here. There's not as many lefties as I'd like in that St. Louis lineup to really hit him up. But I think Dustin May is the considerable better pitcher here. Arizona used 5 of their bullpen arms. Their 3 most high leverage arms all went today, so they're going to get a second crack at him. They were able to put some runs up late here today. I'd like St. Louis tomorrow. I think this is mispriced. I think they should be favorites.
I have the bullpens coming right now.
yeah, I like the under. Nice.
Cardinals did use their closer, but
I think Toast and John liked the Cardinals last night, if I remember correctly.
I think everybody did.
Yeah, I bet the Cardinals yesterday.
All right, let's see this bullpen. You said you think O'Brien ended up going, right?
Where's the pitchers today?
yeah.
We had McGreevy on the mound today against who was pitching for Arizona.
I mean, he only threw 16 pitches,
Kelly.
though.
Yeah, I mean, the game ended at 9 yesterday. I know McGreevy's like your guy, Spoon, but I mean, Dustin May's like pretty equivalent, if not better, in my opinion. And Pfaadt. I mean, if we believe in Pfaadt, I think we can get under 9.
Yeah, I don't believe in Pfaadt. That's probably where
I do. That's my guy.
Disagree on that.
I don't know. I guess Fox just being given a lot of respect here. I guess I'll put up Cardinals. Let's go on to the next one. Rays, Red Sox.
Hottest team in
Ian
baseball.
Seymour against Sandoval. Spoon?
Patrick Sandoval made his first appearance in the major leagues right before the All-Star break in almost 2 full seasons. Versus the White Sox, he looked pretty decent. Didn't go very deep into that game. Hasn't been going very deep into games in the minors either. Had some setbacks early this season, but I think he's coming back and is close to healthy. But, I mean, Boston is not the better team in comparison to Tampa Bay. I know they've been playing pretty hot going into the break, but you kind of lose some of that momentum taking some time off here. The Red Sox are dealing with a lot of pitching injuries right now. That's the only reason Sandoval's up there. I don't think it's because they have a ton of faith in him. I think it was surprising for him to pitch that well the first game. I think Tampa Bay finds a way to get to him here in this second game. And Ian Seymour, I mean, nothing special there, but he's a pitcher that can go out there, give you close to a quality start.
He was looking good for a little bit.
He's just not going to overpower you with stuff. He's not Mizorowski with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball or anything like that. It's very pedestrian, but I mean, so is this Boston Red Sox offense. I think he can go out there, pitch pretty decent. Red Sox have been hitting lefties better than they've been getting to righties, but it's nothing crazy. I think Tampa Bay's bullpen is just as good, and they didn't have any of their leverage arms go today, where Boston used every single leverage arm today. So you get a second crack at all those guys on back-to-back days. You get that familiarity there. I want to get to Tampa Bay here. Might be fool's gold, though, as well as Boston's been playing.
I don't hate the Rays. What do you think, TV Jones?
I mean, the Red Sox are doing a Brewers impersonation like last year and earlier this year. They just don't lose. You just blind back them. Like, they're not losing. They're playing motivated. There's blood in the water in that division, and the Red Sox are looking to take advantage. I mean, they could get 3 or 4 games, however long the series is, off of Tampa Bay, and then the Yankees aren't playing well at all either. I mean, I think the Red Sox are very motivated right now. That offense is cooking. They dogged Tampa Bay today, 15-3 in both games, like combined, 15-3. Yeah, they used some pitching arms, so be it. So did the Rays, but I right now, the way the Red Sox are playing, ain't no way am I fading them, especially at this price. Like, if you're laying $1.30, $1.40 with them, that's different. But you need to give me this price here with Boston. I don't see how you don't play it. I mean, it's very cheap. It's a good affordable price, $113 I'm seeing. I don't know how you go against Boston. I think they're highly motivated. They're playing very good ball. I mean, shit. Siegler and Durbin are active contributing parts of this lineup. They're actually doing something. Those were 2 Brewers that we sent them that weren't doing anything last year, and these guys are damn good. Durbin might be the best third baseman in baseball right now, the way he's playing. Give me the Red Sox here at this price. Ain't no way am I getting in on the Rays coming in here. The Red Sox are ready to play some ball, and they are showing out right now. And Sandoval looked pretty good as last time.
With them using all of their bullpen arms, though, it's kind of hard not to consider the Rays here. Wow, we're really pulling 70%, 20% Red Sox, though.
But they only went like 10 pitches apiece.
Still,
literally,
they all went. The Rays got a look at all of them. What you like the Red Sox too, Jacob?
Kind of hard to argue the way they're playing baseball at this price. I mean, they have a better bullpen than the Rays. So, like, yeah, they're getting a look at all the guys again that threw 10 pitches. They're all really, really good pitchers this season. That's been the one thing for the Red Sox this season that's actually been good is their bullpen. So Sandoval's not going to go long, but you're going to get a lot of really good bullpen arms. And I saw you scrolling, but the Red Sox can hit left. If I was Toast right now, I'd be saying the Red Sox can hit lefty-handed pitching. The Red Sox can hit left-handed pitching. They're a top 5 lineup.
Is that what you would be saying if you were told?
Yeah, they're a top. I mean, look at they got runs off of the last 4 lefties they saw. I guess they didn't get runs off of Rodon or Alvarez. They got 6 runs off Kyle Freeland, 5 runs off Ryan Weathers. So right now they're scoring runs, and I'm a huge Seymour fan. Like, I do think he's a really, really good pitcher, but I mean, he's given up runs in his last few starts, and you're going to get 5 runs against Seattle, 3 runs against the Yankees, who weren't really doing anything. He walked 3 batters in his last start, and now the Red Sox, they're rolling right now. They're seeing the ball well. Baseball is a sport where it's a game of runs. Like, they're going to stack wins. You saw the Cubs go on a 10-game win streak. The Red Sox are on a heater right now, so I wouldn't fade the Red Sox. I'm with Trevor. I also kind of don't mind the under. It's all the way up at 10. I mean, you can get a 10 at like minus 120. I mean, all the bullpen arms, 2 good bullpens. The Rays are much worse against left-handed pitching.
The weather's really nice for scoring.
I know. The weather tomorrow is nice everywhere. The Wrigley, it's nice. There, it's nice. But Tampa Bay is not as good at hitting left-handed pitching, and they're much worse. We know they're not. We know their record at home. We know their record on the road. Like, it would only be the Red Sox for me.
I'm taking the Rays. I'm with Spoon on this one. Red Sox suck.
And the Red Sox have to play 8 games in 7 days here right now. They just used every bullpen arm. So you have to think about not just tomorrow, but the days following that. How are you going to continue to stack wins? And does the Red Sox organization even want to win this year? This isn't a team they want to bring to the playoffs. I think they would rather build towards the future. This is the time of year where they have to make that decision.
That's crazy. I listened to like 4 Boston sportscasts was saying they want to make the playoffs at this point.
I mean, the AL is so bad. This could easily be Red Sox. It could be Red Sox, White Sox in the ALCS.
I literally listened to the interview after the game when they keep winning. All the guys are like, "Yeah, man, we want to make the playoffs. We're playing good baseball right now."
All right, I took the Rays plus 108. Let's go, Spoon.
If I get Boston at plus money, I'm firing.
You're not going to get Boston at plus money.
Sounds like you guys love the Rays. So what do you think?
I love the Rays. I think the game's about a coin flip.
So you don't think that if Tampa Bay's plus 108, I can get like minus 105, plus 100 on the Red Sox by tomorrow?
Well, you said plus money. Now you're saying minus 105, moving the goalpost a bit.
Okay, I take minus 105 too. Like, damn near. I take under a pick, pretty much.
I should have bet this over in Rangers Braves. Braves ended up scoring like 15 runs in this game.
Braves run line was so free.
Yeah, I like that too. John Legeza liked that last night. Mackenzie Gore against Owen Murphy. TV Jones, who's that?
I have no idea. But he was all right in his two starts. I mean, 3 innings, no earned. He only won an inning, 1 earned. Nothing serious. So I don't think you're going to get much use out of him. It's going to be a lot of bullpen, but I think this Braves team woke up. I mean, this was a great spot for them today to finally wake up, and they showed out. 15 runs, they dominated. Now you got Mackenzie Gore coming in here, who's you're going to see a fair amount of righties tomorrow. Yes, he's been striking him out as of throughout the season, but other than that, not been too great. The walk rate's at 8% overall this season, 58.5% fly ball, 9% barrel rate versus righties. Yes, the strikeout rate and walk rate are up and down in the recent 75, but other than that, I mean, it's not been great. The hard hits up to 59%, the barrel rate's up to 11% with a 323 WOBA. So it's not like it's been god awful, but if they're putting bat to ball, they're hitting it hard. And this Braves team looked like that's what they did today. In Texas, they looked like they didn't want to be there. Now, obviously, Chris Sale was on the bump. That's completely different than what they're going to be seeing tomorrow. But this Mackenzie Gore lineup combined versus lineup an 852 expected slug versus the 4 seam, and he uses that 50% of the time. 548 expected slug versus the slider. Now they do have a little bit of whiff issues versus it, but when they hit it hard. So I think the Braves run line again here, Braves team total. I think you just got to take the Braves here one way or another, and it would only be backing them. So give me the team total over tomorrow. I think they keep it rolling, and Texas, I think, struggles behind Mackenzie Gore and company here. So team total and keep her moving.
I can get on board with the Braves bats being back. Their numbers against lefties are terrible, but they haven't seen a lefty since this recent resurgence. If you look at the game logs, they saw Liberatore on July 11th and then Minaya on July 4th. They haven't seen a whole lot of lefties recently. Jacob, you on board with the Braves bats being back?
I mean, what a better time to come back. You get the All-Star break. The Braves were kind of slumping before the All-Star break. Clearly, they came out firing, scoring 1 million runs today. This feels like a really discounted price to get the Braves. They're getting them under minus 110 as the home team. They're the best team in the NL East. They're 56-40. They're playing the Texas Rangers with Mackenzie Gore on the bump. Mackenzie Gore's been okay for the Rangers this season, but you only really want to back this guy at home. This guy's got above 6 ERA on the road. On the road against Cleveland, 5 earned runs, 7 hits to Cleveland. Toronto, who can't hit shit right now, put up 3 earned runs on him. Kansas City scored 2. So, I mean, I think the Braves can, they got to save their entire bullpen, which is the best bullpen in baseball on the season. So even if Owen obviously goes 3 innings, we're going to get 6 innings of the best bullpen in baseball with all our arms available. I don't know why we just don't bet the Braves at this price.
I kind of agree with this. I just don't know enough about Owen Murphy. Spoon, do you have any intel?
So I spent a little bit of time looking into Owen Murphy, not super high on him or anything coming into this season, but he was a high draft first round pick for the Braves in 2022. He's already had a Tommy John surgery. Came back throwing same speed. He doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but it's one that moves a lot. Hits 93. He's got a curveball and a slider. In the minors, he had some issues with walks. It hasn't popped up so far. He hasn't walked a guy in the majors, but what he is doing is striking a ton of guys out. He's going out there getting a lot of swing and miss. I think he can work deeper into this game than the 3 innings we saw last time. I think the Braves are trying to ease him in, put him in a confident situation early in his career. He's a very athletic person. He, in college, also could have played college football as a quarterback. So this guy's going to be a good pitcher at some point in his career. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I'd like to back him, but I'm just not that high on the Braves offense still. Like, it's tough to trust them to put up runs. I could see Owen Murphy going out there pitching really well. He's backed up by one of the best bullpens in the league. But at some point, Texas or Atlanta has to score runs for them to win this game. And I think I need plus money to be able to move on the Braves.
Oh, man.
I kind of want to push back on the walk issue too. I think he figured that out in the minors. He only walked 7 batters in 27.2 innings in the month of June.
I want to bet
Yep,
the Braves. Yeah, let's bet the Braves. You betting at
I
TV Jones?
already bet the Braves. I just did. Minus
let's go.
108.
All right, let's
I
do
make
it.
a minus 133.
It's minus. Oh, you were saying you make a minus 133. I think I get minus 107. Yeah.
I mean, I think we're gonna get more bullpen innings than Owen innings. So
His last 4 starts in the minor, he did pitch into the 6th every time.
and walk 1 batter.
He's their number 6 prospect as well.
Yeah, he's pitched 5 or more. He's pitched 6 or more innings in 1, 2. He's pretty much pitched 6 innings in 5 of his last 8 minor league starts. He's made it 5+ in all the other ones, walking 2 or less batters in every single one of them.
He's got 40 walks in 80 innings.
Well, that's because he started off in his first 4 starts in the first 5 starts in the minors. He went 20 innings and walked 18 batters. Since then, he's walked under 30. He's walked under 10 batters in his last 30+ innings.
Trevor, Brewers snuck one out for you, even though you didn't. Ye of little faith. You were bailing on your team. You were a negative Nancy when it comes to Brewers.
Damn right. You know,
It's
got
one
him up
line
there
and nothing
long.
for Trevor.
Yeah, I mean,
is Drone Strike about to bring it?
dude, I mean, Drone Strike has been dropping drone strikes. I mean, this guy's been great. 3 earned through 6 1/3, 1 earned through 6, 2 earned through 5 2/3, 0 through 4. I mean, 5 1 earned. I mean, he got hit up against Philly. He gave up 4, but quality start at Colorado, 6 1/3, 3 earned. He doesn't get tattooed. That was the one bad game he had, 4 against Philly. Other than that, he's going on the road. He's pitching at home. He's been just fine. I have no issue with him. My issue is with the offense, and I'm talking to you, Yelich. You can't hit. I know he got a double today. He can't hit. He's broken right now. I don't know what's going on. But this offense as a whole, no problem getting on base. First, draw a walk, get a single, whatever. Get on. The second somebody touches second base, nobody knows how to hit the damn ball. Nobody knows what to do. Under or Brewers money line for me, I'm not betting this. I went in today believing, I was like, the break, 18 to 17 games coming into the break. They got the week off, because we got snubbed from the All-Stars, everybody. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. My God, they just can't hit with runners in scoring position for the last 2 weeks, like 3 weeks. I don't have faith in them to come out here and offensively look good. Max Meyer, fantastic, 10-0 at home, 4-5 on the road. So that's where his little hiccup is. I don't mind an under in this game solely because I don't trust the Brewers with guys in position right now. The bullpens are fine. For the Brewers, nobody got overused. I think Ashby threw 17 or something like that. But other than that, they're fine. I think Meyer's going to do just well against this offense. The Marlins, I think Drone Strike's going to be just fine as well. I like an under here, or it would be Brewers money line to sneak one out like they usually do. But man, it is stressful right now when they have guys in position because for a fact a ground out or a strikeout or something is coming your way, and it's not going to end well. So under or Brewers money line, no interest in a run line right now with this Brewers. No interest.
It's crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, we would be saying oh man, both of these lineups are red hot, and they both fell off violently. Maybe the Marlins even more so than the Braves. Look at their recent game logs against righty starters. I trust Max Meyer. I don't know if which of these lineups do you trust more right now, Spoon?
Miami's offense. Well, specifically versus a lefty. I mean, we look at the full season numbers. Everything's green on that spreadsheet. You can say they fell off a little bit, but Otto Lopez, Herbert Hernandez there at the top of the lineup, both over 1,000 OPS versus left-handed pitching. Drohan has looked pretty good in his last couple road starts there, but now he's back at home. I think this Fish team has played very well on the road all season, and they're behind their best pitcher. You have Max Meyer out there on the mound. Every time he goes out there, he puts his team in a position to win. I moved on Miami first 5 -102. I think that closes as them being favorites, maybe up to -120. The full game, like Trevor said, Milwaukee does have a tendency to find ways to pull games out there at the end, and I'm just not fully in love with the back end of this Miami bullpen after using all 3 of their best arms today. So I wanted to isolate it to the first 5. But I mean, I think Drone's just pitching a little bit above his head right now, and this Miami team, I think, is undervalued by people.
Is that still available, that -102?
Yes.
I got the blue one.
Spoon, I have a question. The Miami, so they haven't looked good versus lefties. 2 out of the 3 good lefties they've seen, I just want your thoughts. Gage Jump, 3 innings, 6 earned. And then McClanahan, 5 innings, 4 earned. Thoughts? Other than that, they haven't done anything to a lefty. Just your 2 guys they've abused.
I mean, 2 of the best lefties in the league. They got runs off them. Like I said, Miami's been hitting lefties this season for the most part. Kentillo, Messick, 2 very good pitchers as well. They had some good games. That's all right.
I think I'm going to tail this. Spoon.
You're not going to get me to say bad things about McClanahan and Jump.
I took that same thing. First 5 money line -102. What do you think, Jacob?
I agree with what Trevor and you guys said. I like the under, and I like the Marlins. I think that first 5 money line's a good bet. I might tail myself. I bet the under today, 8.5, because I kind of think you kind of called it out that both of these teams had fallen off, and we had 2 really good starting pitchers on the mound. I feel the exact same way about this game. I think Drohan's a very good pitcher, and I'm still in the box. Sorry, Drone. I'm still in the box or boat that the Marlins against lefties are not as good of a lineup as we think they are. I mean, I am looking at their game logs, and I'm looking at some guys that pitched very well. Luzardo into the 7th, 2 earned. Cantillo, good. Messick, good. Kyle Freeland, 5 innings, 2 earned. Like, that's Kyle Freeland. Alvarez, 1. Like, I mean, I look at 2 starters out of this entire 10 starting pitchers that they got to with Martin Perez and Gage Jump. I don't think Gage Jump is amazing. He's a pretty league average pitcher, in my opinion. And then the Brewers bats, I mean, yeah, they got the Ashcraft and Palante, but against righties, this lineup I've been watching in the last few games, I'm like, I don't know how their numbers on the spreadsheets look so good, but they always do. So it'd be under for me, but I think the first 5 I don't think the Marlins should be dogs in the first 5. So I'm probably going to tail that first 5 money line, because if I like the under, I think Max Meyer is going to go pitch really, really good tomorrow. I mean, this is a guy with a sub-3 ERA on the road this season. And, I mean, Drone's given up 2 or 3 earned runs in most of his starts. So I think we can get a first 5 that's like 2-1 Marlins, 3-1 Marlins.
Yeah, I might also get in on that under 8, too. I feel like we're all in agreement on this game. Trevor doesn't have it in him to say Marlins, but he's thinking it.
The Brewers find a way.
I almost considered splitting Marlins first 5 in full game. Like, do I really want to pay 20? You can get plus 125 on the Marlins in the full game. Like, their bullpen is still one of the better bullpens in baseball.
The run manufacturing has stopped, Trevor. I'm so sorry.
We manufactured a win today. Granted, we didn't score our usual 5-6 runs, but found a way.
So it's no longer manufacturing runs. Now they're manufacturing wins. Equally as important.
When you go through a grind of a 162 game season as a successful team, you got your ups and downs, and you manage. You know, sometimes the offense doesn't click. Bullpen and arms pick you up. You win some ugly games. It's what we're in right now. So that's what we're in. The bullpen and pitching is carrying us, and the offense is doing quite literally just barely enough to win some games.
Yeah, sometimes you just manage.
Yep, and that's what we're doing.
We're managing. Giants, Mariners. Oh, I already bet this because Jacob told me to.
Oh, tomorrow's also Woodruff bobblehead day, but I believe Woodruff, I don't know if you guys saw the news, he might be career done. Like the news that was coming out, they're not talking about it. They're gonna let Woodruff tell the press about it. So I think the shoulder injury, whatever he's got, I think it's probably just the end of the line for Woodruff. I mean, he's been injury riddled for years now. So unfortunately, I think that's the announcement. In which case, there's got to be some extra juice in Miller Park tomorrow.
Are you gonna buy one of the bobbleheads on eBay or something? You sounded really excited to get one.
I love them.
Jacob, what do you think? I bet this. I tailed you.
Yeah, we bet the under 7 at -115. I think it's going to close at like -130 tomorrow. Did anyone watch the game today about how putrid the Seattle offense is at this point? Like, oh my god, dude! Like,
I don't understand how they're so bad though, because they have so
they're
much
bad.
talent.
They're bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm not arguing with you. I don't understand how.
They're not hitting for any power. They're striking out. Cal Raleigh can't bat above 200.
Is Julio Rodriguez coming back though?
No. I don't see any reports that he's coming back tomorrow. So it seems like they could really use him. I don't know if they're going to bring him back in the middle of the Giants series. But Brian Wu at home, this guy's absolutely untouchable. He's 6-0 at home. This season, he has a 2.1 ERA. He's only given up 2 home runs, walked 8 guys. He has a .7 whip. An on base percent, an average against of 156. So don't think Brian Wu is going to struggle tomorrow against the Giants, who managed to somehow get 7 runs themselves today after Bryce Miller left the game. And on the other side, we already talked about it. We have Logan Webb. I mean, Logan Webb has been pitching like 8 innings deep. I mean, Trevor, we were on his like over outs 18.5 or whatever in the last game. He gives up like fucking 4 runs in the first inning. Dude's an innings eater, goes out there and pitches a gem for the rest of the game. He has a 52% ground ball percentage, an ERA below 4. He's getting a shit ton of chase. Neither pitcher walks anybody. Like, final score of this game just screams like 2-1.
Yeah, I bet when you told me we got -115, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's long gone. It's mostly 6.5 now. So it's looking like you gave me sound advice. TV Jones?
I mean, I was looking at like a Bryce Miller under earned runs today. He got shelled in the 5th inning. Giving it up. I don't know how you don't play the Giants here. +123. I mean, Brian Wu's great. I don't mind the under. I think that's probably the safer bet with both of these teams. But I mean, at +123, I don't know how you really can say no to the Giants and be like, I can see why the Mariners are favored here. They're batting what, 170 as a team right now. So the last bad. 2 months, they are horrendous. I make this Seattle -108. I think it's an under, first 5 under, and I think you probably just got to play the Giants full game. I mean, if they lose and Seattle shows up or wins 1-0, chalk it up to the game. But for the love of God, they can't do anything. Logan Webb, I think, bounces back. And yes, shout out the front office who had his over-outs with us at the last game and forced him out there for the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue for the Mariners against you, TV Jones. That's for sure. Brian Wu at T-Mobile is a beast. And he has very, very successful history there. Spoon?
Don't disagree with anything you guys have said about Brian Wu. He's been just absolutely elite at home all season. And Logan Webb, he's a really good pitcher. I generally want to back him in Oracle, but this is a pretty pitcher-friendly ballpark. He's coming off a really bad 2-game stretch for him. 10 innings pitched, 12 earned runs. I think Seattle should be favored in this game just a little bit more. Julio Rodriguez was on the field today, went through all the pregame warm-ups and everything. They specifically said they wanted to get him on the field for a live game to go through all of that, the regular routine, reassess it. He's been out almost 2 full weeks now with concussion symptoms. They're just trying to check all the boxes, not mess around with a head injury. I kind of read that as he is going to be back soon. The specific report says he could play tomorrow. So I think there's a decent chance he's in. San Francisco's offense, they showed up today, put 7 runs up pretty quickly there towards the end. And I just don't really trust that. I like Seattle here. I don't think I have a huge edge on the 123, so I'm not going to move on it, but I do believe they win.
All right. Let's move on. All right. I gotta mute this guy. He goes, this
Why,
show's
what
a
happened?
scam. Bunch of scumbags selling picks as we're giving our picks away for free. And then he said a slur. Dodgers, Yankees up next. Emmett Sheehan against Ryan Weathers. Man, the Yankees. You know what? They didn't deserve to win because they couldn't do anything offensively. But Garrett Cole pitched well outside of that one. You know what? The pitch where he gave him a home run wasn't even a terrible pitch. Dude just put a move on it. Spoon,
Second Decker move.
any interest in backing the Yankees? Man, this team just cannot score right now.
I don't have interest in backing the Yankees. I have interest in backing the Dodgers. Ryan Weathers has already reached the most innings he's ever pitched in the major leagues, and still pretty early in this season. I kind of question how deep he's going to be able to go second half because they want this guy available for the playoffs if they get there. We've seen some shorter outings here recently where he hasn't been getting as deep. I think this Dodgers team is the best lineup in baseball. I think they have gotten to lefties just fine. We look at their last 4 games, 5 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 2 earned runs off the starters, and a couple decent names on that list. Emmett Sheehan is one of the only guys on the Dodgers you ever get backable prices with. This Yankees lineup is just not putting up runs right now. I think Sheehan can find a way to manufacture a good start. You have pretty fresh bullpen still. I mean, we're just out of the All-Star break. Scott threw today, Vesia threw today, but Dodgers bullpen's fine. I want to get to the Dodgers here. I don't feel like there's a huge edge on a money line in MLB right now, 12 hours before the game, but it's the only side I could get to.
Yeah, I if it wasn't for Garrett Cole, who pitched very well today, that's a comfortable win for the Dodgers. I wouldn't argue with the Dodgers. I think they should be favored by slightly more than this. TV Jones, what do you think?
I mean, I'm more upset that I was blinded by the Sasaki factor of today's game and not the fact that it was the Yankees offense. He was obviously going to dominate and pitch well. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better spot. And now you're coming back in tomorrow to see this Yankees team again that can't do anything. They've won 2 of the last, 7 or 9 starts or whatever for Mr. Weathers here. Sure, he hasn't been getting absolutely tattooed, but he ain't going deep into games. He ain't doing much of anything. And there could not be a bigger plus EV move than betting the Dodgers at basically minus 103, plus 100. I mean, they lose, but it's not like you're laying 170, 150 with them. You're getting a plus 100 just because they're playing the Skankies. They can't hit. I think Sheehan looks good. I picked him up in fantasy baseball because I think he's going to dominate tomorrow. I'm probably going to move here on the Dodgers at this price. I mean, if they lose, they lose. But again, like at minus 103, I don't hate it. I make a minus 116 here. I think it's Dodgers all day. Now, Yankees bullpen's not completely cooked or anything, so they've got that going for them. But Weathers, sure, he's been all right versus lefties this season, but a 57% fly ball on the season. And then as of late, 9% barrel, 360 WOBA, 1.6 whip. I think this Dodgers team definitely looks better than they did today. And if the Yankees couldn't hit up Sasaki or do anything against him, even force some tears, I don't know how they're going to do it against Sheehan. So Dodgers are nothing for me in this one.
Someone in the comments said, Kyle, comfortable win. Wasn't it 2-1? Did you not listen to what I said? I said if it wasn't for Garrett Cole pitching his ass off, it was a Dodgers comfortable win. So, yes, it was 2-1 because Garrett Cole was outstanding to keep it at 2-1. Something that worries me, though, on that same subject is the Dodgers bats haven't looked all that great heading into the break, and Garrett Cole was really good today. He was really sharp. So I guess, is anybody worried about the Dodgers bats? Jacob, what do you think?
To preface, you kind of like jumped ahead, but it would only be the Dodgers for me. But I kind of like the under.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
The Dodgers bats against lefties in the last 14 days, 17 WRC plus. They're pretty good on the season. If you scroll down and look at the game logs, so they tattooed Kyle Freeland and they tattooed Jeffrey Springs in Sutter Health Park. Gage jump in Sutter Health Park in like beautiful weather. I just watched Erod go out there, pitch 6 innings, 2 earned. Anthony Kay, 5 innings, 2 earned. Trevor Rogers, 7 shutout. Erod again, 6 innings, 1 earned. Luzardo 5-2. Like when the Dodgers are playing in like some ordinary ballpark with a pretty above average lefty, it's not like they're getting that many runs. Yankees got their whole bullpen available. Spoon touched on it. Sheehan's going out there. He's not even giving up more than like 3 hits a game. 5 innings, 3 hits, and seems like he's got a short leash. He's probably not going to go more than 5 innings. Dodgers bullpen's rested, ready to go, elite too. Like, why are we getting 9? Like, both of these offenses are slumping right now. I mean, the Yankees can't put up more than 3 earned themselves. So I don't really expect Ryan Weathers to go out there and give up like 10 runs tomorrow. Like, he is pretty good at getting out righties. And he has a 279 xFIP to lefties. Ohtani still dealing with injuries, pitching on Wednesday, got a shot in his leg. Like, I don't know. I like the under.
I think I would go here, though.
Yankees team total?
Yankees
under?
team total under. Because I do think it's possible that the Dodgers light Weathers up.
I mean, it felt like going into the break, it was just, they're the Dodgers. They know they're going to make the postseason. Did they really care that much to beat the Diamondbacks?
No. Well, I mean, it's their division rival, I think.
I get that, but
hold on. That's not late August, Trevor. It's still July.
But it was going into the All-Star break. You can't tell me those guys are just mentally ready and checked out. Like, all right, we'll get a week off.
They couldn't touch
We
Garrett
lose a couple
Cole today,
games.
but Garrett Cole was also very good today.
I mean, he's also an AL Cy Young contender.
It feels so tough for me not to press to bet the Dodgers right now at under -10.
Let's move on. No, but I can't get this -103 that's on the screen, though. The best I can get is -110.
I'm gonna.
Next up, Nats A's in Sacramento. Zach Littell against JT Ginn. TV Jones, are you a Zach Littell enthusiast?
Enthusiast might be a strong word, but I don't mind him. He's all right. I mean, he's only going 4 innings the last one against the Yanks. 1 earned, and then he went against Pittsburgh. I mean, 1 earned, 2 earned against Baltimore. Like, he's not like getting absolutely shelled as of late here for the most part. And now you've got this A's offense that even at home, they look bad. Like, they can't do a whole lot of anything right now. I'm trying to find this here. Yeah, they've won, what is this? They're 3-7 in their last 10 against righties. 1 earned, 0, 1, 0. 5 against Tyler Phillips, 7 against Urania, and then 2, 0, 0, and 3 against Jose Soriano. So they're not doing anything that inspires any sort of confidence in this team or at all. And then JT Ginn, I mean, he's given up some runs as of late. He's hit or miss, and I think this Nationals team is going to continue to keep rolling. Last 2 weeks versus righties, I mean, no All-Star break, so limited sample size, but a 138 WRC plus, 15.2% strikeout, and a near 12% walk rate. They've been great. Will Warren and Cam Schittler, 3 earned against those guys combined, but 8-2, 7-4, 1-5-3 prior. I don't hate a Nationals plus money on the money line here. I think that's a decent spot considering I don't know how the A's keep up with the offense. Like, that's the issue. But I think it's probably just going to be a Washington team total over for me, because at the end of the day, you still got to go get in bed with that bullpen and hopefully they cover it up. But I think over 4.5 for the Nationals, it's like an auto bet. I mean, even if you lose 3 straight at, let's say, -150, you're still up on the season because they're absolutely tattooing everybody and scoring 5, 6, 7, 8 runs a game. So National team total over, and I don't hate a stab on the money line just because I don't think the A's offense keeps up.
Yeah, the A's offense is bad. You would have to say the A's have the significant starting pitching advantage, but is it really enough to overcome the offensive advantage? Because the Nationals offense has been so much better. The A's offense fell off a cliff like a month ago hard. Now, some injuries involved there, and they did get some of those guys back, but I'm not seeing any signs of life. Spoon, any reason to believe in the Athletics bats?
It's tough to believe in the Athletics bats right now. I don't think I can find a way to do it. JT Ginn is definitely the better pitcher here. Even in this ballpark, I mean, he's still got a 3.75 ERA for the full season. That's pretty impressive work, but he struggles a lot with lefties. You're putting these Washington National bats, some really big lefty bats that have been killing everybody all season in one of the most offensive parks in baseball. I think Trevor hit the nail on the head with that over 4.5. that's priced at -135 right now. I also like Washington first 5 money line. Littell, I don't have a high standard of him in my mind, but if we look back, I mean, he hasn't had a really bad game here recently. I think this Athletics offense is struggling enough. I mean, Littell probably gives up a few, but I think Washington finds a way to outscore them there in the first 5. There's some volatility involved with this game. I never trust the Washington bullpen, so I wouldn't go full game. It would be a first 5 or a team total bet.
Why
I've
not
gone
just
back
the
and forth
over?
with this.
Okay. Juice.
It's a lot of runs.
Did you guys see the
You need
weather?
to rely on the
It's
A's.
beautiful. The wind blowing
Yeah,
out the
guys.
dead center.
Guys. This is my biggest bet of the day tomorrow. I bet it today. I bet it again. Or I bet it yesterday. I bet it again today. 1.3 units on the Nats team total. Over 4.5 runs at -130. If Spoon thought Gage Jump was like the world's best pitcher and they put up 18 runs yesterday, I think they can get 4.5 runs. I think there's a ladder opportunity with this bet. They might get
So
8.
less than 2 weeks ago, you were on the same train. You were like, "Oh, Gage Jump is great." You're texting me. I'm about to
No,
bet
but
Gage
you gotta,
Jump
you gotta
on vacation.
but
Like,
you-
all right, you can say that he's my guy, but
but you
don't
can
act
quickly-
like you didn't like him as well here.
But we have a small
That's
sample
wild.
size, and you can quickly reevaluate. You know, it's science stuff. You can quickly reevaluate based off data. But anyway, yeah, Kyle touched on the weather tomorrow. I'm seeing like Ballpark Pals got like plus 25% home runs, plus 20% runs. You have like 80 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing out the left field. I mean, Jin at home, Jin's a really good pitcher, but he still has a 156 whip, a 261 average, a near 4 ERA. His expected ERA is above 4. He still walks 11% of guys, so I bet James Wood's probably going to walk tomorrow. That cashed today. Cashes like every game. And if you look, Spoon touched on it, if you look at his splits, he's got a 162 whip to lefties, and he's going to see a lot of really good lefties, CJ Abrams and James Wood tomorrow. So, I mean, I truly believe that we don't even really need to care about the starting pitcher in this game. Gin's not pitching the whole game. They might get 5 runs off the Athletics bullpen themselves. They got like 13 runs off the Athletics bullpen today. So I wouldn't be worried if the Nats have 2 runs in the 7th inning tomorrow. I think we could still cash this bet. I think this will close at like -150.
Yeah, Spoon, I don't think there's any reason. I don't hate the Nationals, certainly at this price. I don't know if there's any reason to look first 5, though. I think the Nationals bullpen might be better than the A's bullpen. The Nationals bullpen isn't good, but the A's bullpen is dog shit.
I agree with Kyle. The plus 115 full game price is absurd, man. The offense alone could carry this game.
I think I'm going to bet this over.
I also think the over 10.5 will close like juice, probably 11.
Yeah, I don't. In this ballpark, this is not a
I just
ballpark
don't
I like for Zach Littell at all.
I
So
just
you
think
still have Nick Kurtz out of the lineup for the Athletics.
Yes.
Probably their best bat. That was one thing that was kind of keeping me off trying to find a way to get to a total, and it's already a 10.5. It's a rather large number. It's still baseball. I know it's almost like the moon there in Sacramento, but it's not.
why is the Nats team total price lower than the A's?
Because the A's have the possibility of not batting in the bottom of the 9th.
Well,
The way the game is
no,
priced.
the A's is priced high, like they're going to score more runs than the Nationals.
Well, they're favored.
Well,
I've got it 5.4 to 5.1 in
Yeah,
favor
like,
of the
I
A's.
just-
They're
Nats get
favorites in
all-
the game, Jacob.
the Nats get all 9 at bats. Like I just don't get like they're putting a lot of faith in JT Ginn, obviously, and they think Zach Littell's a gas. I mean, Zach Littell is the other pitcher.
Zach Littell in this ballpark in this weather is not
I mean,
the best.
oh, you know what's a good bet? Actually,
Anybody.
there's some books that offer this. There's some books I don't know that offer like game total home runs over. There's probably going to be like 4 home runs hitting this game tomorrow. So
Tigers Angels. This was I had the first 5 under in this one, which was good.
shout out the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers came through for you guys late.
Needed it.
Scooby's on the mound. Jacob,
Scoobs.
you trust Scooby?
Yeah, I kind of do trust Scooby. Ever since he's come back from his like injury, he started off a little shaky, but he only went 5 innings, 2 earned against the Phillies. You know, I think he could have gone more. He had a sub-1 whip in that game. I mean, it's the Phillies. He pitched pretty good. 5 innings against the Athletics. He's pretty much going now 5 to 6 innings, 1 earned. I think I heard that there's rumors now, like a lot of news sources saying that the Tigers are not going to trade Skubal, which I think is crazy if you didn't get a haul for this guy right now. But I mean, we talked about how bad their division is. I mean, shit, this team can still win the division. So this is a guy with the best walk rate in the majors. Perfect lineup for him to face with his 30% K rate against the Angels. I don't know how much faith I have in the Tigers bats at this point after what I watched today, getting blanked all the way until the 9th inning. Grayson Rodriguez, I think he already pitched against this Tigers team. I think he's pitched against them twice. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I think he pitched pretty good. I think the bet would be the under again. I think the Tigers win this game, to be honest, at this price. If I was Toast, I'd tell you bet the Angels. This price is ridiculous. I think my favorite bet would be to take the Angels team total under 3.5 runs.
Angels team total under 3.5. What's that priced at?
-140.
Ugh.
I know it's pricey, dude. But like with Skubal on the mound into the bullpens, like, are you really gonna get 4 runs tomorrow?
What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, I think this is a great spot for Skubal to absolutely dominate. I mean, if you look at on the season, 0.85 whip versus righties, a 30.3% strikeout, 31% whiff. He ain't getting barreled, 51.5% ground ball. He's going to see all but 1 or maybe 2 lefties tomorrow. So that'll be a problem. The last 3 weeks, the Angels versus lefties, 30.5% strikeout rate, 3% walk rate. Versus pitch mix this season against lefties, a 26.2% strikeout rate. I think Skubal 9+ strikeouts +101 is feasible. The Angels, I like their team total under as well. It was a little pricey, so I wasn't feeling it too much. But I also think if there's a spot for the Tigers offense to show up whatsoever, it's against Grayson Rodriguez. On the season, 2.23 whip versus lefties. Not getting any whiff, a 568 WOBA, 14% barrel, 62% hard hit, 61% fly ball. He's going to see 6 or 7 lefties tomorrow. And then as of recently, I mean, a 13% strikeout rate, 16% walk, 321 whip, 14% barrel. I mean, he should get demolished here. I can't talk anyone off of a run line for Detroit, but I think the way to do it is you take Skubal to absolutely just shove and look good. So I don't mind Skubal 9, 10 strikeouts. 9 is +101 I'm seeing. And then the team total under for the Angels I like too. Ruh-roh, Reggie. It's Scooby Day tomorrow.
Aren't the Angels a big strikeout team too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. There's a reason that Skubal strikeouts open to 8.5.
I was going to say that's a lot, but then I remember you guys always talk
He
about
might get double digits tomorrow, to be honest.
Spoon, talk to us about Scooby.
So, I mean, we kind of brushed over the fact he came back from an elbow surgery mid-season. They did an experimental microneedle surgery. He was back throwing bullpens 12 days later. A lot of pitchers still would be
Did you say
out.
an experimental microneedle surgery?
Yeah.
That sounds like something out of like a Spider-Man movie. That's like a real thing? Experimental microneedles?
Reduce the recovery time by like outrageous amounts. Normally multiple months kind of thing to just 12 days and he's back throwing bullpens. Interesting stuff they're doing. But since then, I mean, he's not been going super deep into these games. Beginning of the season, we're consistently seeing him throw 100 pitches into the 7th inning kind of thing. And we really haven't seen that as much here recently. Pitch count in his last game was just 74 pitches. So while I do think he's going to go out there and be efficient in his time out there, I just don't think he's going to be in there past the 6th inning realistically. Maybe he's good enough to get through there on 6 innings, but I feel like we're overpricing him a little bit. If you look at the first 5 price, Detroit's like -230. And that's because they do expect Skubal while he's in there to be good. But I mean, -169 full game price. I think that is more than efficient. I don't think there's any way to back Skubal at that price. I just like the under here. Grayson Rodriguez might get touched up by this Detroit lineup, but there's a good chunk of the season where Detroit has struggled. I'm sure Kerry Carpenter's probably going to go out there and hit a bomb, but there's not going to be a ton of runs in this ball game tomorrow. I like the under.
Dude, that's scary to say. Grayson Rodriguez has a first percentile expected ERA of 6.94 for not inducing any chase, first percentile. Hard hit percentage, 51%. Ground ball rate, 32%.
I also have his Savant page open. I'm looking at
I know. Trevor, you know what I would say? It looks like a blueberry.
Oh, a blueberry.
It looks like a blueberry.
I just glanced out of the comments, and the one I saw was TV Jones went to Yale.
Yeah, absolutely. I did.
He did go to Yale.
No need to fact check.
All right. I'm going to talk college football. TV Jones, when's your next show?
10:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, 9:30 Central, which y'all might be living in the 9:30 Central time zone pretty soon based on what I saw, I believe.
We're changing time zones in the East?
And yeah, I think we're all no more daylight savings or something.
Yo, what?
And Spoon, yours is at 30 minutes before that?
Yes.
Okay. Suppose, yeah. That's everyone's Twitter handle. I'm sure everyone here already follows these guys, but all right.
Have a good one, guys. Good luck tomorrow.
Later.
Toodaloo.
Go to base.
All right. Send an invite over. Someone asked about Alabama. We're actually talking Alabama tonight. Someone said in the comments, can we talk Alabama? Weird timing. I have some concerns about Alabama. I mean, not really in this game, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how good you think Keelan Russell is. I mean, he looked the part in the spring game. Remember, Alabama's got first-time starting quarterback, 5-star, number 1 overall recruit. He's supposed to be the dude, and he threw he was I think 22 of 33, 240 yards and 4 touchdowns in the spring game. Just went nuts. So Alabama might have the dude there at quarterback, but the rest of the Alabama offense, I mean, yeah, they've got the wide receivers for sure. Ryan Williams is still there, but offensive line is a little questionable. There's the star running back, the 5-star they brought in, was in a walking boot the entire spring. Just not quite as Alabama an offense as I guess we've come to know. Maybe a little bit of opinionated sentiment there in what I just said. Let me text you. All right. Oh, whoop, let me get Duck's name on the screen. What's up, man?
Man, just living the dream here. Still going through off-season prep. Spent the last couple days surfside at the beach, taking a little breather and just enjoying a little bit of free time before we really get cranking here with some fun production stuff. But good week overall. I hope you've had a good one.
Yeah. The All-Star break was nice. Went and saw the Home Run Derby. All right, so you're taking the lead on this one. Oregon State, Houston. I personally am a Malik Murphy guy. Always been a fan of him. And the problem I see here, I'll just give you a brief summary of how I feel about Oregon State. Problem I see here for Malik Murphy at Oregon State. Number one, he hasn't even officially been named the starter to my knowledge, so he still is competing for the job. I believe he'll win it. Dude's got a ton of arm talent. When you see him plant from a clean pocket and throw, jumps off the screen. You're like, oh, that dude's got the mechanics. Like, he checks all the boxes in terms of when he's got a clean pocket to plant and throw. It looks beautiful. It's a work of art. A cannon, ton of arm talent. I do not trust his decision-making under pressure. He's not the most mobile guy. And look, you can be a great pocket passer and have a ton of success. But on this Oregon State team, when the offensive line is a huge question mark, it was terrible last year. I'm not even sure they did anything to fix it. So the weapons around Malik Murphy might be a little bit better here in Oregon State. Actually, I'd say they're definitely better. Did they fix the offensive line? And if they didn't, can Malik Murphy even be the quarterback? Because I just don't trust him to handle all that pressure. If he had a great offensive line, I would trust his arm over a lot of quarterbacks in the FBS. I don't trust him to handle pressure. Good news. Houston couldn't pressure the quarterback last year. That was their big weakness. So maybe he lucked out by getting Houston. And we saw Oregon State almost beat Houston last year. Granted, that was in Corvallis, went to overtime. The only reason they lost that game was because they couldn't kick a field goal. So Oregon State, Houston. I have some thoughts. Why don't you lead off here and take us through? First of all, what are your thoughts on Malik Murphy? Do you agree with what I was circling there?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really wow me to the extent that he wows you. I think he's serviceable. I think he's a mid-level type of Pac-12 quarterback with the rest of the teams that are in that conference. You know, the roster has been just so depleted. Now we're a couple years out of the Pac-12 being dissected when all those teams went to the Big Ten and the ACC, and we just found that it was so tough for these guys to recruit playing an independent schedule. Then they lost the Mountain West scheduling agreement after 2024, and it was just so hard for these guys to not only fill out the roster but fill out the schedule. And you look what happened last year when they played a bunch of good teams at the beginning of the season, started 0-7, and they showed Trent Bray the door. I mean, it was just so hard for the other guys to try to clean up the mess and rally the troops. It just couldn't get done. I think the all-time bottom low was when they outgained Sam Houston State by 400 yards and ended up losing at home. It was just so embarrassing. And it was 17-0, and they were about ready to punch in another one before half and shut the door, and they just couldn't do it. Couldn't get a first down in the second half. It was awful. You get Jamarcus Shepard, who comes in now. You know, he's been an OC and an assistant coach at the P4 level, but he does not have prior coaching experience.
He's one of DeBoer's guys, right? He's a DeBoer guy?
Yeah, he is of the DeBoer tree. Went with him from Fresno State to Washington and then Alabama. Mitch Dolan comes in at OC, and then Mike McIntyre, actually, who's been an FBS head coach. He's the DC, and I think that's a pretty good hire long term. I think that'll work out. You know, I worry about the offensive line for Oregon State that you had alluded to. I don't know that these guys are going to be any better than they were last season. Just 3.5 yards a carry on the ground last year. The sack numbers weren't horrible given the amount of passing snaps that they actually executed, but still gave up 25 sacks. You're getting Louisville's backup center, Guillaume, I think is his last name. Tyler Volton and Nathan Elu started some last year at guard, and they could be a little bit more improved. You're getting a starting left tackle from Eastern Illinois. That doesn't really bode confidence. Their offensive line was horrific last season. It's kind of a big step up in competition as well. And then Josiah Tomateo, he returns at right tackle. So, yeah, we'll see. You know, I would have thought for sure that Malik Murphy would have been the clear front runner to win the job, but it sounds like it's actually a three-headed race between him, Braden Atkinson, who comes over from Mercer, very, very good FCS quarterback, threw for a ton of yards, had some really nice passes. I mean, he's a good player and should mature into an FBS quarterback. And then Brady Jones, who was the backup at Western Michigan last year, just a guy with very little wow factor, in my opinion. You're getting some decent receiver options. I really like Decorian Temple. I thought he was very underutilized at Central Michigan at tight end, and I think he should be a guy who catches a decent amount of passes in this offense, at least 30 pass receptions, I would guess, for Decorian Temple. Xavier Nolan could be a weapon in the slot. Maybe they'll have him in the return game as well, so I think he could be okay. The running back room doesn't really wow me, but I think A.J. Newberry, who comes over from Vanderbilt, could end up being a decent running back. He'll be one of about 3 guys that's vying for carries in the backfield. The defense for Oregon State, they've got some size in the interior. They've got starters that go 300 and 345 pounds. Takiri Hickle is back at D end. I'm just not sure if we're going to get any havoc numbers out of the rush of the edge rushers. I don't think they're going to produce enough havoc for Oregon State to really be a team that has a formidable pass rush. Dylan Lane was a nice linebacker addition from Idaho, and there's a couple other guys who come back from last year.
Sullivan. They like Sullivan. Aiden Sullivan. I read that.
Yeah. Yeah, the secondary, we'll see. I mean, they allowed 24 passing touchdowns last year, had just 12 interceptions. We're getting Trey Glasper, who comes back along with a couple of backups from last season. And then you get Isaiah Huey, who comes in from Eastern Illinois at corner. And I think he's going to start. Anyone who comes in from the Ohio Valley Conference, I have some questions on. So we'll see on that. Houston, I mean, strong team and a really good staff. And you look at Willie Fritz, the guy has just won everywhere that he's been. Tulane, Georgia Southern, Sam Houston State. I mean, the list goes on and on. Everywhere he's been, he has really increased and elevated the on-field play of his team. And I think we're going to see that here. We saw it last year. Connor Wegman, I think, is actually going to have a pretty decent season. I thought he did some really nice things last year, learning the offense and He stepped up with competition. I thought it was pretty good. Makai Hughes comes in from Oregon by way of Tulane.
Before you move on from Wegman, so worry you a little bit that he closed? I don't like how he closed the season playing his worst. I think there were 7 interceptions in the last 3 or 4 games or something. I put this graphic on the screen, his last 3 regular season games. I don't like how he seemed to be playing his worst football at the end of the season, and almost gives me like the book's out on Connor Wegman. Not necessarily that Oregon State's defense worries me, but it is McIntyre. I like Wegman. I was a little bit worried. I was rooting for Wegman back at Texas A&M. I like him, but I was a little bit worried that he kind of finished out the season out on his best note.
I think he was a little banged up. I don't think it was really public knowledge, but I think he was battling something. But, we'll see. You're getting some talented receivers that are here with Amari Thomas, Kobe Young, Trent Walker, who actually comes over, I think, from Oregon State, which is interesting. The offensive line, I think, is going to be okay. I think these guys will probably be one of the better Big 12 offensive lines. You're getting a couple starters back, plus transfers from Florida State, Toledo, Miami of Ohio, guys that actually played and contributed at their last stops. I think the offensive line, you get another year in the system with the kind of the goofy running offense, and I think we'll see a big uptick from the offensive line. I thought Houston's defense actually wasn't half bad last year. 36% they gave up on third down over the totality of the season. Just 48% of their red zone trips against them ended up in touchdowns. They forced 12 red zone field goals and 9 empty trips. Pretty good production from the red zone D. And if you factor out the West Virginia and Texas Tech games, the run D was actually pretty good last year outside of those 2 poor performances. So I really wonder. I think the defensive line is going to be a little bit stronger with the Marion Thomas, Brandon Mack, Khalil Lafau who come back. We should see more havoc. I would assume that we see a little bit of tinkering with the fronts and where they're going to send some pressure. And you mentioned that Houston struggled, and they did at getting pressure and really registering the havoc plays. But I think we'll see them be a little better at that this year. And I would imagine that we see a strong defensive line performance in the opener against Oregon State. Oregon State, it's a long travel trip. They're implementing a new offense. It's hard to go on the road and win, and it's really hard for a team that's just kind of devoid of talent. I think if this game's in Corvallis, they can compete, and I think that they will compete at home a little better at times than they did last season. But Houston's got such a better staff. They have so much better personnel. They have the better quarterback play, more consistent player at quarterback. These guys have been getting a lot of hype in potentially being able to contend in the Big 12 this year. I'm not saying they're going to, but if they are ready to take that next step, they should handle these guys without incident. I haven't gotten there yet, but I would lay 18 with Houston.
Agree completely. I like Houston to score points. One thing that you didn't mention, a little worried about the Tanner Koziel, the tight end being gone. He was such a
big loss, huge loss.
That's Houston's tight end. He was such a safety blanket for Wegman. Sometimes losing a tight end can hurt the quarterback, but I do like how Willie Fritz bringing back both coordinators and the quarterback, one of the only coaches in the country that is bringing back both coordinators and the quarterback from last year. So obviously the continuity, you like that. I agree that it would only be Houston for me here as well. I was thinking Houston. I also don't hate an over. What are your thoughts on did you read anything about what we can expect from Jamarcus Shepard and Dolan, or what kind of offense we're going to see? Because if it's anything like the DeBoer offenses, we should see at least an attempt at some more explosivity. And I don't think Houston fixed their pass rush problem. You mentioned that you think they'll create some more havoc. Not really seeing it on paper. I'm sure it'll be a little bit better year or two in the system. It can't possibly be that bad. I was stuck in between Houston or an over, because I think Houston's going to score in this game, and I think Oregon State's going to take some shots, whether that results in 6 the other way or so. I'm with you on Houston. I was torn between Houston over, maybe when the markets open up, a Houston team total over somewhere in that. That's where I was circling. So I agree with you mostly.
Yeah, and I don't hate that look at a Houston team total over. You look at all the opponents that Oregon State faced last season, and they really struggled defensively to get off the field. They struggled to get stops regularly. They had a decent game in the first one against Washington State. They played Lafayette College pretty well defensively, but it's just not a defense that I can trust to go on the road and get a bunch of stops. The only real knock is that, depending what Houston really wants to do in this game, and we should get a full go because they just have an FCS opponent on deck, but it's going to be run heavy in the second half, and it could be a quick moving fourth quarter clock. And if you need 2 scores in the fourth, you might be sweating it out. But I think Houston should win this game handily, and I would be stunned if they put up any less than 31 to 35 points, probably potential to get into the 40s.
All right, I agree. ECU, Alabama, and I have some concerns about Alabama, but this just isn't the matchup that really makes me worry about them. So Alabama, actually a couple concerns for Alabama. Last year, Alabama's offense, it was the worst Alabama Crimson Tide rushing offense since 1955. 1955, I read in an article, was the worst rushing offense for Alabama since 1955. And if you watch them, especially in the second half of the season, it was evident that Alabama was unable to run the ball. The loss of the DC here for ECU is not that big of a deal.
Monumental.
Well, I know. It's Blake Harrell's defense, though. I was going to say it's not that big of a deal. I'm not too worried about this. Because
losing both coordinators is going to be tough for ECU and their quarterback.
But quarterback. So we're talking about the OC. I agree with the OC. The DC, I don't think is a big deal because it's Blake Harrell's defense. But yeah, let's start with the ECU offense, actually. And I agree. It's John David Baker went and took a job at Ole Miss. So Jordan Davis comes in. Now, there is some decent news here. Jordan Davis comes in. He was the OC under Eric Morris at North Texas. He also brought a ton of the North Texas staff with them. So brought over a North Texas wide receiver, running back. We'll get into the roster in a second. But also brought the wide receivers coach, I think the running backs coach. So he brought over some pieces from North Texas as well as some of the coaching staff from North Texas. So you'll take that, at least some of that North Texas offense, which was wildly explosive. I also like how it's not a crazy adjustment. ECU ran a pretty fast pace last year. North Texas ran the fastest pace in the country. So more fast pace, more explosive plays, more high tempo, high scoring. Not a huge adjustment here for the ECU offense, but it is a new coordinator. The problem is, I have 2 major questions about this ECU offense. One is the quarterback position, and Duck can shed some light on what he thinks about these 2 guys. It's going to be Emory Williams for Miami, who's a pocket passer, or Mitch Griffiths, who's a bit more of a scrambler. So if the questions at the quarterback position, what are we expecting from these 2 guys? An offensive line, man. Their best offensive line on paper entering the season is a guy they brought in from Kennesaw State, Brandon Best. I have him at center, but I think he might play guard. I don't even think they really have a starting 5 set yet. But just take a look at the graphic on the screen. This is the best projected offensive line starting 5 that I could build. I was trying to put together what I think it's going to be. Creel from Southern Miss will probably start at right tackle. He's got over 840 career snaps, but it's slim pickings here on the offensive line for ECU. They've got the weapons. They've got receivers. They're pretty deep at wide receiver. Ray Joseph from Miami. They brought in Sides from North Texas. They got the running backs. Ashton Gray from North Texas. Michael Allen from Marshall. But the question marks I have for the ECU offense, quarterback and offensive line. Also, I wrote down tight end as a question mark position as well. To go on the road against Alabama, and Alabama's defense is built a very specific way. They might have the best secondary in the country. Actually, you know what? Let's scroll down to the Alabama secondary. So Alabama's defense, first of all, they figured it out kind of in the second half of the season. In the 7 games before the playoff game, they were playing lights out. Under 4.1 yards per play allowed, 31.2% success rate. Indiana kind of gave them the business, but Alabama's offense kept gifting them opportunities to do so. The problem with the Alabama defense is, do you trust them to stop the run? Because there were times where Alabama was not looking very physical defensively, and teams were running the ball on Alabama. Did they fix this? I'm not really sure. They lost their main 2 linebackers. They bring in Caleb Woodson from Virginia Tech, who's a good get. But as far as inside linebacker, they've got Woodson from Virginia Tech. They're pretty thin and inexperienced after that. Defensive tackle, they brought in some guys. This is a little bit of a question mark position as well, which, let me be clear, a question mark for Alabama standards, I'm saying. As far as edge rusher, they got that guy Pierre. He's awesome. They've got a couple other guys that I think could be pretty good. They've got the best secondary in the country. I don't even know if that. I mean, Xavier Brown, one of the best defensive backs in the country. Dijon Lee's only a sophomore. He's a 5-star, 6'4" corner. They have two NFL corners. They've also got Bray Hubbard and Saab. These two safeties. It was speculated that they were going into the NFL. They both decided to stay. They are loaded in the secondary. So why did I say all that? Alabama's defense. I like their edge rush. Love their secondary. I think teams are going to be able to run the ball in Alabama, at least maybe the stronger teams. Is ECU that team that's going to be able to go into Tuscaloosa and run the ball, though? Because I don't like ECU's offensive line at all. So I think Alabama's defense has some holes that we'll find opportunities to exploit. I just don't know if ECU is the team that's going to show us any of those holes. So what are your thoughts on this side of the ball, ECU's offense against Alabama's defense?
I mean, I agree with a good majority of what you said. You look at the success with ECU, and they have had a tremendous amount of success with their quarterback play. They've had really feisty running backs that have run angrily. They had big physical corners on defense that were able to stick their nose in there and just make plays against the run and lock down their opponent's number one receiver. A lot of that goes away. And I'm worried about the offensive line. All 5 starters from last year are gone. You're getting new guys in from Houston, Carson Jones, who didn't play last year, a guy from Northern Arizona, like you had mentioned, Kennesaw State, Southern Miss. And then you're getting last year's backup left tackle. And I do not love the quarterback situation here at all. Mitch Griffiths has bounced around from place to place. And I just do not like the way that he quarterbacks his teams. I don't think he's very talented. And you're getting Emory Williams, who's just a hair unproven, played some at Miami, but not really that great. And the fact that they're both locked in this battle that's going to go into fall camp is concerning for me. I don't think either one of these guys is going to be anything close to what Caden Hauser was last year or the year before. They do have some decent running back talent. Michael Allen comes in from Marshall, and then Ashton Gray, who comes in from North Texas with some of the coaching staff, like you had mentioned. Other decent running backs that could have some pop. But I do not think that week 1 at Alabama in Bryant-Denny is the place to try to figure that out. So I can't imagine we're going to get a tremendous amount of success from East Carolina running the ball. Brock Spalding is a decent receiver who returns from last season, and Landon Sides comes in, and I think he could be really productive. He came over from North Texas. You're getting the new OC. There's going to be a little bit of a different offense. It's going to be somewhat tangible and similar to what they ran last season. Air raid principles, some tempo. Focus on running the football and getting some pop and some explosive run plays. It'll be similar to what they ran before. The problem for me with East Carolina and trying to cover this number is also defensively. I thought they overperformed so well last season. It was such a havoc defense, Sauce. You look at 34 sacks, 101 tackles for loss, 24 turnovers forced. They were just pests at all 3 levels against their opponents. It was really a swarming defense. They were tough up front. And a lot of that goes away this season. The new DC, he comes over from Memphis, and I know that Harrell's still going to have his fingerprints on what this defense is going to look like. We'll see if guys like Josiah Robinson and Rosenborough, he was a pretty decent pickup last year from Towson. He's back. They have a decent edge rusher in Kendrick DeJour. You get Cruz and Cade Law, who come over from Memphis. DJ Johnson, yeah, he could be okay, I guess. Probably just a little step below what they had. The secondary is probably going to end up being okay in conference play. I do worry a little bit about the safeties. We'll see if Zaire Gamble and Miles Pollard are the guys. I don't know. You're kind of getting some of these guys that were UNC cast-offs way back in 2023. They sat the bench here for a couple of years. Now they're getting called upon. So I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the sort of past secondary that we've seen in prior seasons from East Carolina when they had big physical corners that could really create issues. They just don't have a lot of that this year. Now, let's look at Alabama. Kalen DeBoer really challenged his team this offseason to get stronger, to get more attitude, challenged a little bit of the mental toughness along the offensive line. You hit it right on the head. They couldn't run the football. Outside of games against Eastern Illinois, which is a horrific FCS program, in Louisiana Monroe, they were held under 100 yards 9 times last year. It was just awful. And at times they just abandoned the run game altogether and didn't even try to even attempt to run the football. And so I can't imagine that it's anything but we're going to hand the ball off. We're going to get some creative running looks going, put something on film, because they've got to get better at that. I'm not sure on the quarterback play, and that's the concern I have. Is it's Keelan Russell battling it out with Austin Mack, who played some last season, just kind of in relief of Ty Simpson. Ryan Williams is an excellent receiver, and I know they've got a couple other guys that they really like. 2 receivers got hurt in the spring, so we'll see if they're here in this one.
No, Noah Rogers, I'm reading, will not be ready for the start of the season. I read that
Won't be ready.
Yeah, I read that they're hoping for mid-October.
You know, that could be an issue then for them. You know, the O-line, we'll see. I think they're young, they're talented, they're very highly touted 4- and 5-star recruits. You're getting a couple sophomores and a redshirt freshman, along with Cal Poly's former starting center. So we'll see. They have to fix the problems, and they have to be able to run the ball. I do agree with everything you said about the defense. Really got better as the season progressed. And I think with year 3 under Kane Womack, who's an exquisite defensive coordinator, you're going to get guys that are hungry, that want to make plays. I think we'll see some more havoc from these guys. I worry about the D-line per Alabama standards, like you mentioned. We're getting a couple of Oregon cast-offs, guys that were just never going to get on the field at Oregon. And I just don't know if that's really – it's kind of an insight as to why is that what you're settling on instead of getting the guys that you really want. So we'll see how it works out. Devin Tompkins and Terrence Green could work out. Yanze Pierre, though, he's back off the edge, and he's a guy who was a dude last year. 8 sacks, created a lot of havoc and pressure. I think he's a guy that'll really have a good season. Red Morgan is back at linebacker. Caleb Woodson comes over, like you mentioned, after a couple years at Virginia Tech. Could be a decent SEC unit. Not exceptional, but certainly not bad. Secondary is very strong. So when you talk about East Carolina, are they going to be able to pass protect? Are they going to be able to prohibit those negative plays and those drive-ending plays? Are they going to be able to – they're not going to run the ball. So where's the offense going to come from, and how is it going to work in this matchup? I really think, Sauce, that we got to figure out here what East Carolina wants to do in this game. Sure, any casual fan can think that every team is lining up and really trying to win the game and whatever else, but I just don't know with East Carolina. They've got 3 regional foes on deck. They've got Old Dominion, App State. Those are 2 spirited rivalries, and then they play an FCS team from Durham, North Carolina Central. So I just really want to figure out what ECU is trying to do here, because I just cannot imagine that this team really believes in their heart that they can win this game, and you got to stay healthy for conference play, and you want to beat these regional rivals. And I think this is one that has a chance to snowball in a hurry when you're running quick tempo and you're trying to get explosive plays. If they're not hitting in the secondary, then you're punting. Alabama's getting some short fields. And I could just totally see a scenario where you're halfway through the third quarter. This is 42-7. And now you need 2 scores for East Carolina to get inside the number. And I just don't think that's coming. I don't know that Alabama is going to return this year to what Alabama has been over the last 15 years. But I think in this game, they're going to put up a good showing. Kalen DeBoer really needs to get the stink washed off him. I think this team will look really fired up and ready to go. I would lay it with Alabama.
Yeah, and the fact that ECU, it's crazy because I have concerns with Alabama. I just don't see them being concerns in this game. And the fact that the secondary for ECU looks so vulnerable that, we're going to see Keelan Russell making his first start. To me, it's going to be basically the spring game for him, where he threw for 240 yards and 4 touchdowns in that game. The ECU secondary is such a question mark that it's almost like going to be a scrimmage for him at home in Tuscaloosa. It's the perfect game for Alabama to kind of stretch their legs. And even though I don't know if they really fixed the run, that 5-star running back that's supposed to be like their savior, he was in a walking boot all spring. So I don't know if they fixed the run, but I just don't know if ECU can do a damn thing about it. So, yeah, I think this is the Tide in blowout fashion. I would probably make this one north of 30 personally. Actually might bet this.
I'm certain I'll be at the window. I don't have this bet placed yet, but
I'll bet that.
Very, very likely that this is going to be a play I have on my week 1 card.
Now, speaking of very likely, so for those of you that don't know, Duck's going to be way more plugged in the offseason stuff than I am. I mean, when we're talking NBA, March Madness, he's already in on this. So he might have the answer to this question. Why is this number being bet up? Because I think Tulsa can win this game. Who's betting this up? What am I missing? Is that you?
It's not me,
Well, I think Tulsa
No,
can win this game.
let's keep it going because I want to see 14.5 flash.
Yeah, I think I'm not even trying to do a bit. If you ask me to eyeball this and then look at the rosters, don't run it through any simulations, no Claude, nothing. Just eyeball it. I would say 8.5, maybe. This is 12.5. It's up to 13.5 now. This is a rivalry. Tulsa has given Oklahoma State problems in the past. We got this brand new Oklahoma State team
last year.
Yeah, and Tulsa gives Oklahoma State problems in Stillwater. It doesn't matter where they are. They are always a thorn in this team's side. And you bring in Eric Morris and this North Texas, pretty much, I believe the article I read called it it wasn't a transfer portal. It was a franchise relocation or something. It was funny the way they worded it. So all of North Texas comes over. I believe 87 new players is the most in college football history, the turnover we've ever seen. So you've got this brand new team in Oklahoma State. Most of it comes from North Texas, and it was explosive last year. But the offensive line is still a question. And also, you know what the big question is? Drew Mestemaker looks like the man has never played a Power 4 defense in his life. So I think maybe we should pump the brakes a little bit, betting this up to 13.5. This Tulsa team is not bad. This defense took a step forward last year. This is not the worst defense in the country that it was back in 2023, 2024. Tulsa's defense took a step forward under Trey Lamb last year. They also kept I believe they're 8th in the country in returning production. They love their edge rushers. Their secondary is really experienced. Elijah Green, first team all conference corner. He was a Thorpe Award finalist. That's best defensive back in the country, this Tulsa corner, Elijah Green. So this Tulsa team is not bad at all. I think they're coming into this one fully believing they can win. And I'm kind of with it. I mean, Oklahoma State's defense was terrible last year. North Tech, look, Skylar Cassidy looks to be an up-and-coming superstar defensive coordinator here. I believe in him and his ability as a defensive coordinator. You don't just fix this in a day. Well, you bring the North Texas defense over. The North Texas defense wasn't even, it was okay last year. It was 77th in the success rate, 73rd in PPA per play. That was against an American schedule. What, they all show up at Oklahoma State and they fix this? Look at the screen here. Oklahoma State is at a bottom 10 defense for back-to-back years. They show up and day one, they go on the road. Like, what? I don't understand who's betting this up. I really think this number should be 7.5, 8.5. I think I'm going to bet this right. I was waiting for this stream to ask you, why is this being bet up? Seeing if you had any retort, and if you didn't, I'm taking the points. I'm probably going to take some money line.
I mean, everybody loves Oklahoma State this year. The win total's been bet up. The conference features have been hammered. And, I get that it's a completely different group than what we had last year. They had 40 guys. When Gundy was fired, they had 40 guys hit the portal during the season. And so they were playing with only 55 players, and they could hardly fill out their two-deep roster. Eric Morris comes over. Like you said, all the North Texas guys are coming over. You're getting a QB coach who's going to be the OC, Sean Brophy. Skylar Cassidy comes over at DC. And, there was some varying degree of theory on how North Texas did defensively last year. They were atrocious the couple of years before Cassidy got there. And I thought he did okay, but I just really don't think North Texas's defense performed to the level that I thought they were capable of. And they routinely gave up a ton of points, a ton of explosives, a ton of yards, even against garbage teams. They gave up a lot of points the second half of the season when they were blowing out Temple and Rice and all those other bad teams in the American. And I just wasn't really wowed by it. I do think there are some pieces here for Drew Mestemaker. The guy is a dude. He's in full command of the system. He doesn't have to learn anything new, and that really will help them. Caleb Hawkins comes over, 25 rushing touchdowns last season, 1,400 yards at North Texas. Trey Page is a dude and did really well at Tarleton State. I think he's a guy that can provide a nice 1-2 punch at running back. Wyatt Young comes in from North Texas. Miles Coleman, Terrence Lewis, they all come over. Israel Polk from Akron was actually a pretty decent MAC receiver last year. So I think we got a lot of options. Justin Bowick from Illinois is a guy who can play here. So the room is loaded. The O-line is a bit of a work in progress. You're getting guys from Michigan State, Oklahoma, Kansas, Coastal Carolina. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot of moving pieces, but if they can get that ground game humming, it'll really take the pressure off of that offensive line to have to try to figure that out. But I think the offensive line will be okay, even when we get into Big 12 play. The defense, I mean, we'll see. Again, you're getting some North Texas flavor. You're getting guys that played some last year. Jaleel Johnson is back. Dejig Clemens, Kievan Huddleston is back. So we'll see. I wasn't impressed with North Texas's defense, and I just wonder if this defense is going to just be somewhere between what Oklahoma State's defense was last year and what North Texas's defense was, and they both underperformed. So I think we're probably getting an underperforming defense here too. You get a guy from Liberty who comes in the secondary. LaDainian Fields started here last year, and he's back. So there are some pieces here, but I don't think that defense is going to be the strength of this team by any means. Now Tulsa, golly, man, I thought they were much better than their record last season. They had so many chances to potentially win games, and they just couldn't hold up. Couldn't hold up in the second half against Navy. Had 4 turnovers against New Mexico State on the road in a weird spot and couldn't get the win there. Competed with so many other teams and lost so many close games. Tied with Tulane at the half and ended up fading away. But I really like what Trey Lamb is building. I thought they were much tougher defensively compared to what we saw in 2024. At the end of 2024, Tulsa's defense had completely quit. It was historically bad. They were giving up 60 points a game, 600 yards of total offense surrendered. And I thought what he did last year, I thought it was pretty admirable. And I think we'll see more defensive improvement from Tulsa as this continues. They do have a little work to do on the interior of the D-line. Getting Newhouse to come back, I thought was huge. You get Arias Nash, and I think he should be a decent player coming over from Virginia Tech. Kieran Duhan played at Oklahoma State actually last season, and now he flips over here to Tulsa. We're going to try and see. I think Tulsa wants to send more pressure, and I think they're going to try to create some different blitz packages. Now, it could expose the back seven, and I think the back seven has room to improve. Getting Devin Hightower from UAB was really, really good for Tulsa. And you know what? They've got corners, like you mentioned. Elijah Green was a dude. J.D. Drew is back. Zach Williams made a ton of tackles last season. So, it's good and bad there. You don't want your free safety making a ton of tackles, but they've got guys that have played a lot of snaps and really good players in the secondary. So, yeah, I think they can kind of compete here. The offense, though, for Tulsa, I think these guys have a real chance to be good. I love Baylor Hayes. I think this guy is really, really good and a guy that can help Tulsa to ascend back to where they want to be in conference play. Traquan Jones comes in from Old Dominion. I thought he was a big-time running back get in the portal. DJ McKinney is also in from New Mexico. So you're getting some guys that have a little pop in the running back room, and they kind of like to do that where they can run Baylor Hayes a little bit. They can create some unique looks in the run game to get the running backs in open space. I like that. They really do need they need receivers to emerge. Grayson Tempest is back. I was not wowed with him, but he was okay. I think the guy they should have held on to was Zion Steptoe, and they let him go. Oren Singleton could catch a lot of passes out of the slot and kind of fill that Steptoe sort of role. They couldn't get the ball to Steptoe very much, but I think there'll be a little bit better production out of the slot here, and I think that will really help the offense as well if they're running some RPO stuff. Decent offensive line coming back for Tulsa. You got 5 guys that have some significant starting experience, including South Alabama's former starting center, Malachi Preciado. I think you got a left tackle in Cam East who's 6'8", 330. The right tackle goes 6'5", 310. It's a big bunch. I think they should be able to do kind of what they want to do this year on offense. People may point to the revenge spot for Oklahoma State, but it's a completely different team. It's new coaches. It's new everything. So I don't look at it that way. And I have to feel like Tulsa has to go into this game thinking they can absolutely compete here. You strip the helmet logos away, and it's kind of even teams, in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's a pick 'em, but it's kind of even teams here, and I think Tulsa should feel really good with the momentum that they've built in the offseason. I think we're getting points. I like the OC hire and Kevin Barbe. They're going to play fast. They're going to take shots. They're going to register explosive plays, and I think it's up and down here. So I kind of lean over, but I want 14, and I think we'll get a 14. Because everybody's going to line up at the pay window to bet Oklahoma State, especially with this, all the hype in game one. Everyone just loves everything they're doing. And I get that they'll be an improved team, but I still think that it's probably 6-6 for Oklahoma State this season, and I like the Hurricane to compete here at home. So
I'm betting this.
The minute of 4.
I'm going to take some money
move it
too.
Might move it. You might move it to 12.
I don't think I'm that influential, especially not this year. All right, let's move on to the next one. Last game on the board. Sam Houston State, Troy. We have someone in our group chat that's a diehard Sam Houston State fan that's looking forward to this. So, how would you?
There we
go. Do you have anything optimistic to share with the Sam Houston State fan listening?
I mean, let's call it what it is. Last year was such a disaster. The staff
it was almost unfair.
It was horrid.
Longo got the job, like two or 3 weeks already into the portal season or something. Like, they didn't have a home stadium.
Yeah, I mean, all of that. No, Phil Longo didn't have anything to work with. It was the renovations of the home stadium. So they were playing an hour away in a converted soccer stadium. Fan support was low. People weren't going. It was like 2,700 fans going to games. The stadium was empty. And, the defense, it was so bad. Per my explosiveness surrendered metric, Sam Houston State was the worst team in the country. They gave up 78 plays of 20 yards or more. They gave up 39 plays of 30 yards or more. It was just they couldn't stop explosive plays. And now you get 3 starters only that are returning from last year's defense. I mean, they allowed 7 yards a play, 5.4 yards per rush, and 484 yards per game. You're not going to win any football games doing that. It was just a disaster. Chauncey Cheedy and Dylan Frazier coming back along the line, I thought were decent players for what they had. And then you're getting Jaden Fry, who comes over from Boston College. He didn't play much there, but it could be an interesting body. And then Justin Terrell comes in from North Carolina State. I will say the D-line has a little experience and is probably going to be the most reliable unit on their defense. So maybe there's a chance for marginal improvement, but still a long way to go. I think the back 7 is one that could certainly get exposed this year. You're getting Dean Ford, who could emerge as a nice young player for Sam Houston. Brian Bates was a decent player for Delaware State, and he comes over. So we'll see how that translates. Jace Arnold's is undersized, but he's a pretty tough player at the nickel position. Secondary was horrible, and the top 5 guys from last year are gone. So you're really getting an FCS level secondary, guys from Elon, Northwestern State, Southeast Missouri State that come in. They have some decent size, I will say, in the secondary, but I got to see if these guys can play any football. And at this point, I don't know how it's going to translate.
I noticed that too when I was putting these sheets together. The corners are like 6'2", 6'2", 6'4", 6'2", 6'2", 6 foot. Yeah, their corners are huge.
I mean, it's unique. We'll see if they have foot speed and can turn the hips and can cover some of the schemes that they're going to see, because some of those guys maybe just can't play. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt to at least call it after I see it. Also, the offense, man.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Just the offense stunk. 13 total red zone touchdowns last season. They converted just 22% on third down, and they were 10 out of 43 on fourth down. It was just very, very bad. 36 sacks given up, 93 tackles for loss surrendered by the offensive line. Quarterback situation was tough. They didn't have their guy that they wanted to run the system. Now it's Landon Lockey. I don't know how he'll do. He's got a little wiggle in the pocket. He can do a little bit to elude some pressure. Maybe it's better in the second year of the system. It was such an extreme change from what Casey Keeler's offenses were running at Sam Houston State with 2 and 3 tight ends, a fullback, a little power gun, to go into this air raid system. So it was a tough transition. Alton McCaskill and Coco Brown are back in the running back room. We'll see. They couldn't run the ball very well last season, but maybe they get these guys the ball a little bit. Maybe they can throw them the ball.
Well, from what I'm reading, they're pretty confident with that running back room. There's a lot of optimism when I was reading about Coco Brown. Apparently they like what they got here. I wouldn't know too much, but apparently they like this. They're confident with this.
Yeah, I mean, it could work out. You got to have an offensive line, though. And interestingly, they're getting Kennesaw State starting center Josiah Chenault, and he comes over for some reason to Sam Houston. A couple inexperienced guards that are going to really have to step it up in order to compete at this level of football. I think the guard play, the interior, the offensive line is really going to have to play out of their minds in order to have success. They've got 2 tackles, Denell Nix and Carter Kadow, who have good size, but they're just young players and don't have a tremendous amount of experience. So we'll see how it goes. Troy, though, man, I don't know. Like, I thought that Troy was not all that good last year. They
Yes.
squeaked into the Sun Belt Championship game. They struggled with anybody who was any good. They played up against Clemson. I'll give them that. But after Goose went down, and it was Tucker Kilcrease, I think his name was so bad, man. It was absolutely unbelievable to watch that guy play football.
And even because, all right, so obviously it's not a hot take to say Troy's offense was bad. I mean, it was 117th at success rate, 114th in PPA per play. Troy's offense was bad. That's not the hot take. I don't even think the defense was as good as the numbers show. Man, they finished the year with some good defensive numbers, but they played a lot of really bad offenses. They padded these against some really bad offenses. So I like how you led off the Troy section with that, because I'm in agreement. I don't think Troy was nearly as good as their resume showed last year.
No, I don't think so at all. And I don't know that you can, if you like Troy in futures or regular season win total over, which I don't, but if you were to, I don't know that you can bank on Goose Crowder playing a full season. He's 0 for 2 in that department over the last couple of years. He's prone to getting injured, and I worry about having the backup play long stretches again this year. So I'm just telling you, I don't believe that the quarterback play is going to be very good. And honestly, the weapons around Goose Crowder are gone. Running back, receiver, they're depleted.
Did I do this wrong? Because I'm seeing all junior college wide receivers, junior college running back. Am I reading that right? Did I do that?
Oh, yeah. JUCO guys at running back, Gavin Griffin, Dennis Palmer, Bryce Burgess. They're just guys that don't wow me. Now, I think one or two of those guys were at a JUCO and then came in last year, but it's a lot of JUCO talent and a lot of guys that haven't played at this level of football. The receiver room, everybody's gone. It's an entirely new group. You're going through you're getting a new OC, you're getting a new install. Adam Austin comes in from Tarleton State. Now, I'm going to tell you, with Tarleton State, if you didn't watch a lot of FCS football last year, the offense could score quickly. They will play really tight splits along the offensive line. It's kind of a slow mash. They run some RPO. They run some over the middle routes off that RPO. But if you can't protect the quarterback, this offense is the plays get blown up, and it could be a real problem. And if you know anything about Troy's offense last year, the worst.
Oh, I have it right here.
59 sacks surrendered, 100 tackles for loss.
Dead last. 59 sacks.
And we saw it a little bit with Tarleton State when they were struggling back in 2024. They had some tough games, and then we saw it a little bit last season. They were a good FCS team, but at times, if you can get pressure onto the interior of the offensive line, those plays get blown up, and quarterback throws it into the ground, and you don't have a chance. And I think we're going to see a lot of that with Troy this year. So I think the offense might actually even take a step back. The defense loses a ton of production from last year's bunch. That they showed a lot of fight. That defense played very, very hard against Clemson. They played very well against Memphis when it was 7-7 deep into the third quarter, and Troy couldn't get a flipping first down and could hardly get the ball out of their own end zone. And that defense hung in there for quite some time. But a lot of those guys are gone. All 7 who contributed along the defensive line are gone from last season. You're getting some transfers in from Arkansas, BC, a couple reserves from last year that are going to be scheduled to start in the 3-man front. But the front really doesn't wow me, and I worry about how these guys are going to be able to stop the run over the course of the season. You got a linebacker who comes in from BC, Bryce Steele, who could be okay. Donnie Smith was an all-conference player last year.
He's good.
He's back.
He's awesome.
He is good. He's really good. Luke Hodge is a guy who's vying for playing time, and he could see some time at middle linebacker. They got a D2 guy as well that they like, so we'll see. The secondary, such a strength last year, and now 3 starters are gone. You're getting some JUCO guys at corner. You're getting 3 of last year's backups to kind of round out the 2 deep, and then you have Justin Powell, who was a pretty good player, I thought, for Troy last season. Made a ton of tackles the last couple of years. But, man, Troy couldn't score enough last year. I thought, again, it was a bunch that so overperformed how good they actually were. They should have lost to Buffalo. They were down 17-0 in the fourth quarter and ended up winning. Texas State led them 28-7 after the first quarter and found a way to lose. Troy ended up defeating South Alabama in overtime. You flip some of those games, and then the story really starts to sound a little bit different for Troy. you can't go under in a game like this because it's going to be such seat of your pants football. Sam Houston's going to play fast. Troy's going to try to play fast. Both are going to take deep shots, but both these offenses are going to stink, to be honest with you. And who in the world is laying 18 here, Sauce? I know I'm not.
I'm not either. You're going to take Sam
This
Houston?
This is one you want to take as opposed to lay. I'm not at the window yet, but Sam Houston did lose their first 3 games last year by 17 points each. And in this case, that pays the bills. So I could take a 17-point loss. I think before all the attrition sets in and players get hurt and team apathy sets in, I think you want to bet Sam Houston early in the season catching a boatload of points. I don't think that Troy can't lay 18.5 to any FBS team. I will be on Sam Houston here.
So if I was forced to bet aside, it would be Sam Houston. You mentioned can't bet under. I was considering over. I think we'll see a fast-paced football game like you said. I also think we're going to see throw in the football. I really think last year was such a poor sample of what we can expect from Phil Longo here at Sam Houston State. That was unfair. The situation, he took the job like 3 weeks already into portal season. His team didn't have a home stadium. He was just like throwing this roster like here. Phil Longo's a very creative offensive mind. He's got a good track record, worked with Drake May. I think Sam Houston State's offense is going to be surprisingly good. Well, for Sam Houston State standards, let's chill. But I think Sam Houston State's going to have a nice little offense there, and I think Troy's defense is a little overvalued based on the fact that they racked up some numbers against some really bad offenses. I don't think we agree. Everything Troy. I am not as down on the Troy offense as you are. I think Goose Crowder's pretty good. When he's healthy, I feel like Troy is actually a somewhat decent offense, and it's Sam Houston State. The defense should be a little bit better, but you could make a strong argument this was the worst defense in the country last year, certainly one of them. So I think we'll see fast pace, and I think we'll see points. So I was leaning over, but I would agree if I was forced to take a side, I would probably have this one closer to 2 touchdowns, maybe 14.5 rather than 17.5. So I would lean that way.
Yeah, I mean, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here because this is a tough one to bet. It's going to could be a fun watch. And, the thing about Longo, too, in the offense, I do think Sam Houston's offense is going to be significantly improved. You talk about how late he came into the job during the recruiting cycle. And, again, it was a different offense when he took the job, and they were coming out of an offense where it was kind of the gun-heavy run, and they used a fullback at times and several tight ends, and they wanted to completely 180 that, and he just didn't have the personnel, and we saw that in his play calling. We saw Sam Houston State run the ball way more than what was anticipated.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be aired out this year.
Yeah, I kind of want to bet this over. The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, we're going to see 70 plays apiece in this game. I think I am going to bet this over. Duck, where can they find you?
Get 50.5 because 51 is a key number in totals, and 50.5 is available everywhere. So take over 50.5.
I'm going to bet Tulsa, and I'm going to bet this over. And then what's the first one we talked about? It was
Houston.
I don't think I'm going to take Houston. You know what? I think I'm going to bet these last 3. I'm going to bet Alabama, going to bet Tulsa, and I'm going to bet this over right when we're done streaming here.
I love it.
Where can they find you?
Yeah, Action Network. We're doing a ton of work over there for conference previews that are ramping up. We'll have 3 or 4 different shows each week during the season. VSiN betting podcast with Tim Murray I'm on regularly. I do the Bet US show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then twice a week right here with you, Sauce.
Yes, sir. And that's his Twitter handle right there on the screen. I'm sure you'll tweet out whenever you're on the show and what you got going on. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's doing stuff, talking college football all the time. Make sure you give him a follow, some support. Everyone, thanks for watching. Enjoy your Saturday. Be back tomorrow night.